Chapter 435. Chapter 435. Chapter 243. The decisive battle approaches. Rune Seed Realm attacks the team. Chapter 435. Chapter 243. The decisive battle approaches. Rune Seed Realm attacks the team. Lease reading Omicron and Novelcool. Omicron M. After the annihilation of the Sky Brilliance sect, Lu Yun temporarily had no intention of continuing on, opting to stay and recuperate instead, while continuing his own cultivation and accumulating runes. 2 days later, Thunder Tribulation descended upon a spiritual peak of the Sky Brilliance sect. After nearly an hour of tribulation, it officially ended with a burst of a powerful aura. Yi Xian was the one who crossed the Thunder Tribulation and was promoted to the Rune Seed Realm. At this point, he became the first Rune Seed Realm powerhouse among the Demon Extermination Generals, led by Lu Yun. With his strength and merit, as long as he reported to the Far Suppression Legion's commander Wei Tianluan, he could be promoted to Earth-rank Demon Extermination General. After being promoted from Black-rank Demon Extermination General to Earth-rank Demon Extermination General, one usually had two choices. The first was to stay in the original team, and the second was to apply for their own army. Yi Xian chose to stay under Lu Yun's command. Lu Yun was quite relieved with Yi Xian's choice and ordered him to go to the treasury to receive a 7th grade pill to consolidate his realm. The map displayed on the star plate was constantly changing, especially the South Nether Prefecture region. After Lu Yun led his demon suppression army to exterminate the Sky Brilliance sect, the cities of South Nether Prefecture successively fell into the hands of the Demon Extermination Army. Soon after, the marks of Rashomon sect and Cloud Jade Pavilion in South Nether Prefecture were erased one after another on the star plate. That meant that South Nether Prefecture had been completely defeated. Looking at the entire profound darkness domain on the star plate, almost half of the prefectures fell into the hands of the Demon Suppression Army. The final battle for the profound darkness domain is approaching. With a light tone, Lu Yun put away the star plate. After leaving his seclusion, Lu Yun called Yi Xian right away. After Yi Xian was promoted to the Rune Seed Realm, Lu Yun directly reported his information to the Far Suppression Legion commander Wei Tianluan. He became an Earth-rank Demon Extermination General as he wished and became Lu Yun's right-hand man, responsible for assisting with the affairs of the army. Reporting to the general, "Our army now has 2 Earth-rank Demon Extermination Generals, 23 Black-rank Demon Extermination Generals, 258 Yellow-rank Demon Extermination Generals, and nearly 6,000 Demon Extermination Guards. Among the Demon Extermination Guards, the weakest have already completed the True Chi 3 refinements." Hearing this, Lu Yun nodded slightly. When he first took over as the commander of the 18th Army of the Far Suppression Legion, there were 19 Black-rank Demon Extermination Generals, 132 Yellow-rank Demon Extermination Generals, and more than 9,000 Demon Extermination Guards under his command. In just about a month, they had experienced more than 10 battles, big and small, and not only did the number of Demon Extermination Generals not decrease, it even increased. This was the terrifying aspect of the demon-suppressing army, growing stronger through battle and becoming more powerful with each battle. Issue an order to the entire army. Set off tomorrow and head straight to North Desolation Mountain. Yes. On the second day, at dawn, the battleship broke through the sky and left the Sky Brilliance mountain range. The battleship did not fly for too long. Just 8 hours later, a huge mountain range appeared in front of them. This mountain range was shrouded in dense fog, with low visibility, but one could see from afar that there were battleships lined up in the sky. This mountain range was precisely the camp of the Far Suppression Legion. TSK, Lu Yun, I finally see you. The moment the 18th Army finished setting up camp, Wei Zongqing came to find Lu Yun. At this point, Wei Zongcheng's momentum was even more refined than the last time they met, not looking like someone who had just broken through to the middle stage of the Rune Seed realm a little over a month ago. Obviously, during this period, not only Lu Yun had improved in strength. Of course, he had improved the most. Wei Zongcheng's eyes swept over Yixin, Qingho, and others, and he laughed. Fierce Ghost Sect, Sky Brilliance Sect, your 18th army has wiped out 2 sects in a row, making a fortune, and making me envious. A month ago, during the battle in the White Lotus domain, the 18th army suffered heavy losses, with only over 9,000 people left in the entire army. Among the black-rank demon extermination generals, there was only 1 at the half-step rune seed realm and 3 at the peak of the golden body realm. Now, in just a month, there was 1 rune seed realm, 1 half-step rune seed realm, and 4 peak golden body realm. Wei Zongqing naturally assumed that the huge improvement in the 18th army was due to the spoils of war during the 2 extermination battles. What amazes me the most is that you, a mere gold body realm peak, were able to possess the battle prowess of a rune seed realm peak, even killing Gongsun Shuarong, who had the Sky Brilliance sword. Tell me honestly, has your strength reached the peak of the rune seed realm? Almost. Lu Yun gave a very vague answer. Actually, he wasn't very knowledgeable about the battle prowess of the Rune Seed Realm Peak either, as he hadn't encountered opponents of that level. The only thing he could be sure of was that ordinary, late-stage Rune Seed Realm cultivators were no match for him. Especially now, as he had 44 law runes in his body, his strength was somewhat improved compared to before. Wei Zongqing looked deeply at Lu Yun and sighed bitterly. At the peak of the golden body realm, you already possess the battle power of the Rune Seed Realm Peak. This level of monstrosity has already surpassed those saint children within the Demon Extermination Legion. Lu Yun shook his head in response. After leading his own army, he had gained in-depth knowledge of the Demon Extermination Army thanks to his own authority. There were a total of 4 martial academies, saint children in the Demon Extermination Army, including Lu Yun. Apart from Lu Yun, the other 3 saint children were all powerhouses above the Golden Core realm. One of them was even a vice commander of the Demon Extermination Army. The Demon Extermination Army had 1 army commander and 6 vice commanders, all of whom were heavenly human realm powerhouses. Lu Yun's strength was indeed formidable, but compared to other saint children, he still had a long way to go. This was not a matter of talent, but rather the fact that Lu Yun was young and had a short cultivation time, which was not even a fraction of the time spent by other saint children. This was something Lu Yun himself understood, and was clear in Wei Zongcheng's heart as well. He laughed. I have a feeling that it won't be too long before you catch up to or even surpass the others. Chapter 436, Chapter 436, Chapter 243. The decisive battle approaches. Rune Seed Realm attacks the team _2. Chapter 436, Chapter 243. The decisive battle approaches. Rune Seed Realm attacks the team _2. Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron and perhaps. By the way, how long will it take for you to condense rune seeds? Lu Yun was already at the peak of the gold body realm and had begun to inscribe runes. The next step was to condense rune seeds. Wei Zongqing knew that with Lu Yun's talent and performance, his speed in inscribing runes would not be slow. It would take him just 5 to 6 months, or no more than 1 to 2 years. Lu Yun didn't plan on hiding anything. He estimated that it would take him 2 to 3 months at least. He said, "My goal is to produce a superior rune seed, which requires intense practice and seclusion for at least 2 or 3 months." 2 or 3 months. Wei Zongqing gave a thumbs up and said, "It's been just over a month since you broke through to the gold body realm, and you're already at the peak. In 2 or 3 months, you'll condense rune seeds and reach the half-step rune seed realm. After that, you will trigger Thunder Tribulation and officially advance to the Rune Seed realm. It will take you less than a year to complete the breakthrough from the gold body realm to the rune seed realm. My goodness, your cultivation speed within the Morijin is unprecedented and unsurpassed. Quick cultivation speed doesn't mean much. Any golden core, realm martial artist could easily kill me now. Lu Yin didn't get carried away and said, "Besides, the world is vast, and Morijin and the 100 sect are not all there is. Perhaps there are vast worlds beyond the endless great wilderness and boundless sea region, with even more extraordinary people." Listening to Lu Yun's words, Wei Zongcheng's expression slightly changed, and a complicated look flashed in his eyes, but he quickly concealed it. "Ha, Brother Lu, you are right. Morijin might just be a small place, and we may all be frogs at the bottom of a well. However, your talent and strength would make you an exceptional being wherever you go." Wei Zongcheng's words made sense. Even after stepping into the gold body realm, Lu Yun's ability to leap across a large realm surpassed many others. Moreover, with Lu Yun's panel, he could infinitely raise his aptitude and, given enough energy, infinitely improve his cultivation techniques and various mental states. With this advantage, no matter what kind of extraordinary being he faced, he could catch up to them. At this moment, there was a knock on the door outside. Lu Yun opened it to see the solemn and extraordinary Hong Xingwu, who said, "Brother Lu and Brother Wei, the battle is about to begin. Let us go to the far suppression for the strategy meeting." Lu Yun and Wei Zongqing exchanged a glance, and their faces became somber. Especially for Lu Yun, who had just arrived at North Desolation Mountain, was the battle about to begin already? It seemed that the situation was more severe than he had imagined. The Far Suppression Legion was made up of 43 armies, each consisting of 15,000 soldiers. After the successive battles, each army had sustained damage. The 18th Army had only more than 6,000 soldiers left. Now, the entire Far Suppression Legion had just over 300,000 demon extermination generals and demon extermination guards combined, with each army averaging less than 10,000 soldiers. However, most of the losses were weak soldiers. With massive resources concentrated, the strength of the demon extermination guards and demon extermination generals had increased, so the overall power was not much weaker than before. Each army had at least one rune seed realm master sitting in control. The Far Suppression Legion had 43 armies and a total of over 80 rune seed realm masters. Adding the unaffiliated cultivators and martial academy experts, there were 103 rune seed realm masters. They all gathered in the conference hall of the Far Suppression. After a brief discussion of the battle plan, the army officially mobilized. The North Desolation Mountain camp sent all its forces, leaving only the 2nd and 10th Army behind. More than 100 rune seed realm masters were deployed, with 93 of them taking part in the operation. True Master Changkong, a golden core realm expert, and heavenly level demon extermination General Dugu Yuan personally led the team. Wei Qianluan and Ling Hu Dao stayed behind to handle potential changes in the situation. At the same time, another place also mobilized its armies. In the huge mountains, countless soldiers of the Demon Suppression Army were stationed. Following urgent orders, numerous warships began to launch. This was the Death Valley, the temporary camp of the Blue Blade Legion. They also mobilized their forces simultaneously with the Far Suppression Legion to launch an attack. Compared to the grandeur and orderly mobilization of the Far Suppression Legion and Blue Blade Legion, the Profound Darkness Sect's camp seemed chaotic. Besides the Profound Darkness Sect and Dragon Tiger Mountain, many of their forces were actually affiliated factions. Martial artists from different sects were scattered by nature. It was impossible to unify and coordinate them efficiently. Facing this, the sect leader of Profound Darkness sect, personally executed several arrogant heavenly prides to stabilize the army's morale forcefully. After the initial intimidation, he gave a speech to boost their spirits. This battle, even if it fought to the last man, would not give in. If ordinary disciples died, elite disciples would step up. When elite disciples died, there would be personal apprentices, then sect elders, and finally those in the Rune Seed realm and Golden Core realm. Even if all of them died in battle, there would still be the Profound Darkness sect leader and the Dragon Tiger Mountain Celestial Master. They would fight until their last breath to block the Demon Suppression Army. The Profound Darkness sect leader seemed to have received some information that made his determination in battle unshakable. Regarding the words of the Profound Darkness sect leader, Dragon Tiger Mountain Celestial Master Zhang Danyang did not raise any objections. The two must have reached some kind of agreement in private. When two peak true masters of the Golden Core realm agreed on something, the leaders of the other subordinate forces naturally did not dare to say anything. At this point, if they did not cling to the Profound Darkness sect, their only fate would be annihilation. As the leaders of one faction, they knew deeply that there was still a chance if they fought to the death. If they fell into the hands of the Demon Suppression Army, there would be no possibility of escape. In the sky, a radiant rainbow light flashes, piercing through the vast sky. Arriving in an instant, landing on the Tiger Head Peak is a woman, delicate and beautiful, with curved eyebrows, moist red lips, and pearly white teeth. Descending on the peak, enveloped in the mist, she appeared ethereal as if a fairy from the vast cold palace had arrived, reaching the pinnacle of beauty. Following her, several more rainbow lights descend, all young men and women with exceptional appearances and strong auras. However, compared to the woman earlier in appearance and temperament, they still fell short. A handsome and otherworldly young man with a gentle smile asked, "Feng Yi, can we intercept and kill the Demon Suppression Army on this path?" Feng Yi, the delicate and beautiful woman, possessed a rare appearance and remarkable talent. At a young age, her cultivation had already reached the peak of the Rune Seed realm. This young man was also not weak, already in the late stage of the Rune Seed realm. As for the other young men and women, even the weakest were in the middle stage of the Rune Seed realm. These people were selected as heavenly prides among the Profound Darkness sect's camp, each possessing extraordinary combat capabilities. Their sole purpose for appearing here was to use their strong maneuverability to ambush the Demon Suppression Army. The Profound Darkness sect leader's original words were, "Two Demon Suppression Army legions, with hundreds of thousands of soldiers, would undoubtedly defeat the Profound Darkness sect and Dragon Tiger Mountain in a head-on confrontation. Ordinary sect martial artists would set up defenses on the front line and form a strict defensive formation, doing everything they could to defend against the Demon Suppression Army's attack. Those in the Rune Seed realm would roam around, taking the initiative to find the Demon Suppression Army and eliminate large numbers of ordinary demon extermination guards. And the group of more than a dozen people led by Feng Yi were the most monstrous heavenly prides among the Profound Darkness sect and Dragon Tiger Mountain." Whoosh! As the young man's words fell, several warships appeared in the distant mountains, their flags fluttering in the wind. The Demon Suppression Army is here. Kill! In this endless mountain valley, a small detachment of the Demon Suppression Army clashed with the Profound Darkness sect's Heavenly Pride ambush team, igniting the war in an instant. Half a moment later, the rest of the Demon Suppression Army arrived as reinforcements, but they were already a step too late. This Demon Suppression Army had lost more than half of its soldiers, and even their commanding officer had been killed. As for the Profound Darkness sect's Heavenly Pride ambush team, they had already disappeared without a trace. At the same time, the Far Suppression Legion's 16th Army, 24th Army, and 35th Army had also encountered subsequent ambushes from the Profound Darkness sect. Among them, the 35th Army had nearly been annihilated. Upon hearing this news, Wei Qianluan didn't take it seriously, indifferently saying, "It's just a dying struggle." Nevertheless, he ordered the Far Suppression Legion's 41st Army to advance in groups of 3 or 4 armies. Thus, Lu Yun's 18th Army joined forces with Wei Zongcheng's 9th Army and Hong Xinghui's 5th Army. The 3 armies boasted a total of 8 Rune Seed Realm warriors and more than 20,000 demon extermination guards. With such strength, they could easily handle the Profound Darkness sect's Rune Seed Realm ambush team. Chapter 437, Chapter 437, Chapter 244, The Shocking Flesh. Chapter 437, Chapter 244, The Shocking Flesh. Lease reading Omicron N novel cool. Omicron M. The sudden attack of the Profound Darkness sect's Rune Seed Realm squad caught the Demon Suppression Army off guard, and the 35th Army nearly suffered a total annihilation. However, the Demon Suppression Army reacted quickly as well. Several armies banded together and advanced as a group, leaving the Profound Darkness sect's Rune Seed Realm squads with no opportunities to strike. As the Demon Suppression Army launched fierce attacks on the Profound Darkness sect's territory, the sect could only continuously lose ground and withdraw their defensive lines and constantly send out Rune Seed Realm and Golden Body Realm squads for ambush and assassination. The Far Suppression Legion's 5th, 9th, and 18th Armies, after departing from the North Desolation Mountain Camp, relentlessly pushed eastward over 50,000 miles, destroying one Profound Darkness sect stronghold after another. Throughout this process, they didn't encounter much resistance, nor did they make any significant gains. Once the Profound Darkness sect martial artists realized they were outmatched, they abandoned their positions and retreated quickly. How did the 100 sect's martial artists suddenly become so timid they don't even dare to face us head-on in battle? Looking at the now empty defensive line, Wei Zongcheng muttered. In the past 3 days, they had encountered 5 or 6 battles, but the number of enemies slain was still less than 1,000. Our combined strength has skyrocketed by joining the 3 armies, so if we don't encounter a large number of enemies, they basically don't dare to fight us head-on, Hong Xingwu explained. Weren't the Profound Darkness sect's Rune Seed Realm assassination squads causing a huge commotion recently? I'm curious about their actual strength. Rune Seed Realm assassination squads. Wei Zongcheng's face changed slightly as he said, "Not only are there numerous assassination squads, but they are also very elusive. Each time they appear, they strike quickly and possess extraordinary mobility. After scoring a hit, they retreat rapidly, giving ordinary people no chance to react." Hong Xingwu nodded slightly, but still confidently said, "I just hope they don't fall into my hands." The reason why the Profound Darkness sect's assassination squads were highly mobile was that they were mostly composed of Rune Seed Realm martial artists whose strength was immense. Unless an Earth-rank demon extermination general intervened, there was no way to stop them. Even if they could be stopped, there was no way to prevent them from advancing and retreating freely. It was impossible to get a hold of them. However, Hong Xingwu possessed Rune Seed divine abilities. Once the magnetic giant peak was activated, it could suppress the area within tens of miles, even limiting the movements and speed of Rune Seed Realm martial artists. Of course, his main reliance was still his own strength. During the battle against the White Lotus sect, he single-handedly killed several Rune Seed Realm martial artists, and even went toe-to-toe with the White Lotus sect's peak Rune Seed Realm powerhouse. His incredible strength was his true reliance. At this moment, Hong Xingwu suddenly asked, "Where's Lu Yun? What else can he do besides cultivating?" Wei Zongcheng replied with a bitter smile, "I heard from his subordinates that whenever he has time, he's in seclusion. Unless there's something very important Nobody can see him. Hearing this, Hong Xinghua's face grew somber as he couldn't help but marvel. It's not just his monstrous talent, but also his diligence in cultivating. If he doesn't become powerful, the heavens would be unjust. After advancing another 300 miles eastward, an Earth-rank demon extermination General Scout druid that was sent back intelligence. 100 miles ahead, in a mountain range, there were numerous profound darkness sect martial artists stationed, estimated to be around 5,000 in number. Once they confirmed the intelligence as accurate, Hong Xingwu and Wei Zongqing were overjoyed. After wandering around for so long, they finally encountered a big fish. Advance at full speed. We must keep all these enemies here. With that said, Hong Xingwu and Wei Zongqing led several Earth-rank demon extermination generals and more than a dozen Black-rank demon extermination generals as they soared into the sky. N0. 5 Warship number 9, Warship N0. 18, along with other small warships, also increased their speed, thunderously following. 100 miles was quickly traversed. In the continuous mountain range ahead, they could faintly sense several powerful auras, as well as numerous weaker, wandering auras. It was evident that there were profound darkness sect martial artists gathered there. Boom. Rumble. Without any words being exchanged, both sides engaged in combat as soon as they met. Hong Xingwu and Wei Zongqing, the two powerful figures, were the first to strike, their attacks falling like a torrential rain. Rumble. 2 terrifying attacks instantly appeared in the sky above the mountain range, falling like meteors. Caught off guard by the sudden assault, the profound darkness sect martial artists had no time to react before being enveloped by the powerful attacks. Blood spurted, limbs flew, and all but a few of the martial artists stationed on a mountain peak who managed to react quickly and survive were slain. After landing the first blow, Hong Xingwu stood in the air, briefly sensing his surroundings and confirming that there were indeed just over 5,000 enemies nearby. However, these enemies were quite strong, with 5 Rune Seed Realm martial artists among them, including 1 late-stage Rune Seed Realm powerhouse. He immediately communicated with Wei Zongqing through voice transmission. "Brother Wei, there's a big fish here. We can't let him escape." "Understood. We won't let him get away." As the words fell, Wei Zongqing lifted a huge black seal and flew into the sky. Atop the black mountain seal, powerful runes spread out, and the seal quickly grew larger, resembling a mountain peak as it released black thunderbolts. Thunderbolt domain. Black thunder roared as it fell, suppressing a huge peak below. At this moment, however, a sudden change occurred. The mountain peak enveloped by the thunderbolt experienced a spatial fluctuation. Immediately after, a chilling, cold aura erupted. This aura was extremely cold, but not like the coldness of ice and snow. Instead, it felt like the sinister chill that emanated from the underworld, freezing the soul and making one's heart tremble. Chapter 438. Chapter 438. Chapter 244. The Shocking Flesh _2. Chapter 438. Chapter 244. The Shocking Flesh _2. Lease reading Omicron and Novelcool. Omicron M. I late-stage Rune Seed Realm. Seems like you're the big fish. Wei Zongqing's eyes turned cold, and he instantaneously switched his combat moves. He lifted the Black Mountain Seal and suppressed it against this person. However, the opponent was deflecting. After a failed strike turned into a beam of rainbow light, they made a quick exit. Humph! A cold hum echoed through the area. Following this, a well-prepared Hong Xingwu emerged from the ambush in midair, causing the space to fluctuate. The power of the stars poured out, forming a lengthy spear that suddenly thrust toward the rainbow light, attempting to flee. A scream resounded through the sky as the rainbow light abruptly shattered, revealing a figure dressed in a black robe. His eyes had a dark glint, and his face was pale. Staring at Hong Xingwu and Wei Zongqing, he coldly stated, "If I want to go, you too can't stop me." As his words finished, he transformed into a flying rainbow. His speed increased manifold as he broke through the air and fled. Hong Xingwu's figure materialized. He sneered disdainfully as he manipulated the star's energy. In the void, an enormous object suddenly leapt out. Out of nowhere, the gravitational force over tens of miles drastically increased by over tenfold. Magnetic giant peak, an awe-inspiring spectacle, appeared in the void, emitting a powerful magnetic field that suppressed an area of space. Dance of the Thunder Snakes. On the other side, Wei Zongqing acted immediately. From the beginning, the two of them conspired in secret about how to ambush this big fish. As Hong Xingwu manifested his rune seed divine ability, Wei Zongqing activated the Black Silence Profound Thunder on the Black Mountain Seal and launched an attack. Rumble! A long snake condensed from terrifying thunder power. Black Silence Profound Snake, containing the ultimate power of destruction, sped toward the rainbow light. Under the suppression of the magnetic giant peak's magnetic field, the speed of the rainbow light was reduced several times over. Although it was still fast, it wasn't nearly enough against a master like Wei Zongqing. Boom! The terrifying Black Silence Profound Snake struck, leaving the figure inside the rainbow light, only timing to pull out a shield that resembled red agate to block the attack. The Black Silence Profound Snake exploded, scattering thunderbolts in all directions. This violent thunderbolt power scorched the ground and melted rocks upon impact. The mighty impact of the Black Silence Profound Thunder was detrimental. Any martial artist who was slightly careless during their escape could potentially lose their lives. Rumble, 3 colossal battleships descended along with 10-odd smaller ones. Powerful auras transformed into rainbow lights, charging toward the mountain range. "Let's go, we can't fight against the massive demon suppression army." Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Lines of rainbow light shot up into the sky, fleeing rapidly. "Ha! It's time to get busy." Qing Ho burst out from a battleship, wielding a spear with high spirits and killing intent, racing towards a fleeing Golden Body realm martial artist. Having bumped into so many enemies all at once, this bolstered his fighting spirit to the extreme. Ever since Yi Xian advanced to the Rune Seed realm, Qing Ho became the most powerful Golden Body realm under Lu Yun's command, and the only half-step Rune Seed realm. Naturally, his strength was formidable. Soon, he completely overpowered the opponent. Meanwhile, during the intense fighting outside, Lu Yun had reached a critical juncture. Condense. The Yuan Hai surged. Following an explosion of dazzling golden light, a diamond-shaped law rune containing terrifying power formed. The 50th law rune. Looking inward at the diamond-shaped law rune in the Yuan Hai, emanating a bright golden light, Lu Yun felt slightly excited. During this period, he had managed to accumulate law runes through his bonus points and devoted cultivation, finally reaching 50 law runes. Boom! Just as he was about to inspect his information through the panel, Lu Yun suddenly felt a violent commotion from outside. Combat has erupted. Seems like we've encountered a formidable enemy. A flash of light burst in Lu Yun's eyes, and he immediately ended his seclusion, leaving the cultivation room. His gaze swept across, quickly assimilating the current state of the battle. The enemy forces numbered well over 5,000. There were many Rune Seed and Golden Body Realm cultivators among them, representing a potent force. Lu Yun quickly evaluated the enemy's strength, then focused on the most powerful warrior among them. A late-stage Rune Seed realm martial artist, indeed powerful. However, this was like being a caged dragon. Lu Yun's gaze fell upon the formidable magnetic giant peak. His eyes narrowed slightly, murmuring, So this is Hong Xingwa's Rune Seed Divine Ability. Quite intriguing. Hong Xingwa's Divine Ability, Magnetic Giant Peak, not only served as an offensive tool against enemies, but also as a way to seal off an area. Even opponents of the same realm experienced a limitation in their speed. The biggest fish is yours. Lu Yun's protective armor had a twinkle of light. His body disappeared from the battleship and appeared in the void, pursuing back the direction of the two escaping rainbow lights. Both rainbow lights not only moved quickly, but also had particularly strong auras. Using Instant Horizon, Lu Yun appeared in a piece of space. The two fleeing Rune Seed Realm martial artists were startled at the sudden appearance of Lu Yun. As soon as they saw the arrival of the Demon Suppression Army, they started to flee with all their might. All the while, they hadn't noticed any pursuers from behind. But how did this person ambushing from the front arrive so quickly? Even a Golden Core realm expert couldn't possibly catch up so soon. Did he lay an ambush here in advance? These two Rune Seed realm warriors exchanged puzzled glances, but they didn't panic. After all, the man who had suddenly appeared was simply at the Golden Body realm. Chapter 439, Chapter 439, Chapter 244, The Shocking Physical Body, _3, Chapter 439, Chapter 244, The Shocking Physical Body, _3 Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron and both of them were cultivators, one at the early stage of Rune Seed Realm, and the other at the middle stage of Rune Seed Realm. Either one of them could easily dispatch the obstacle that suddenly appeared. What's going on? Lu Yun blinked at the realization that something was amiss with his use of Instant Horizon this time. Firstly, the deployment of Instant Horizon had become much faster. This time, he felt that the pressure from the space around him had also significantly weakened. In the past, striking with Instant Horizon would always make his body feel an immense resistance from the spatial compression. But now, it felt much smoother. The spatial conception hasn't improved, but there's still such a change. Could it be because I've gained more law runes? Lu Yun pondered in his heart, unable to think of any other reason apart from the increase in law runes. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At that moment, the two Rune Seed cultivators he had blocked made their move. They both unleashed fatal attacks, not holding back despite Lu Yun's perceived weakness. Brat, no matter how you appeared here, you only have one path, death. The middle stage Rune Seed cultivator took the lead in attacking, brandishing a dark blade that sent a massive black rift tearing towards Lu Yun as if to swallow him whole. However, Lu Yun's face remained unchanged in front of such a powerful attack. He threw a punch, fully suppressing the oncoming slash. What? The mid-stage Rune Seed cultivator from the Profound Darkness sect looked astonished. Bang! A punch blasted down, shattering the enormous black rift. In that instant, the Rune Seed Realm cultivator almost felt his dark blade slipping out of his hands. He quickly tightened his grip and attacked again with another powerful slash. The second slash was earth-shattering, as if he had transformed into an Azura with enough strength to rival 1,000 foes. This blade seems pretty good. I shouldn't break it. Lu Yun unleashed 3,000 thunder movement, leading a series of purple lightning bolts to span a distance of several hundred feet. Just as the unparalleled blade was about to fall, Lu Yun caught it with one hand and exerted a powerful force. Click! The space-tearing black slash was instantly crushed by Lu Yun. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Seeing Lu Yun approach with lightning speed, the Rune Seed Realm cultivator's face was filled with disbelief. With a full-force slash, the opponent didn't dodge or avoid, but withstood it with his powerful body. No, it was crushed by his powerful body. How terrifying must this body be to accomplish that? Reacting quickly, he made another slash. He knew full well that if this person with terrifying physical power got close, he would either die or be seriously injured. Kill, carnage, slash. He roared, unleashing his full power at the late stage of the Rune Seed realm, attacking with another slash. At that moment, Lu Yun had closed the distance, throwing a golden light-imbued punch that turned into a colossal beast roaring ferociously as it struck out. Suddenly, two earth-shattering forces fiercely collided with one another. A scream came from the explosion as the mid-stage Rune Seed cultivator from the Profound Darkness sect saw his gold body shatter. His dark blade launched out of his hands. Lu Yun moved forward, catching the blade with one hand and stomping on the cultivator's head, smashing it like a watermelon, with flesh and blood splattering everywhere. Chapter 440, Chapter 440, Chapter 245, Two Sects, Heavenly Pride. Chapter 440, Chapter 245, Two Sects, Heavenly Pride, Lease reading Omicron N novel cool. Omicron M. After completing all this, Lu Yun's gaze turned to another person, with a cold and sharp look in his eyes. It's your turn now. Feeling Lu Yun's condescending attitude and undisguised killing intent, the man was shocked and quickly retreated. Since even a Rune Seed realm mid-stage martial artist was defeated by Lu Yun, he knew that he was not capable of being his opponent and had no rebellious thoughts at all. The only goal in his heart now was to escape, as far away as possible. Master Feng and the others are not far away. As long as I can hold on until they arrive, I'll have a chance to survive. Suddenly, he felt an extreme coldness as if coming from his back. Then, his gold body seemed to be lightly poked by a needle tip, and a slight pain attacked his mind. After traversing several hundred feet in the air, the pain intensified rapidly and soon occupied his entire mind. What is happening to me? He slowed down and looked down at his chest, where there was an empty hole. Although the Rune Seed realm has a strong vitality, and the gold body possesses the power of invincibility, such injuries could only be considered as a severe wound, but not a complete fatality. Whoosh! After severely injuring his opponent with a single finger, Lu Yun launched the Golden Edge Sword Fang, which rushed through the air and transformed into 9 huge swords. With a clang, there was a sword sound as if striking a metal. The Demon Suppression Army really encountered the enemy here. At this moment, an indifferent voice came, and a young man in his 20s appeared before Lu Yun. It was him who blocked Lu Yun's attack, saving the Rune Seed realm early stage martial artist of the Profound Darkness sect. Good. Find a place to heal yourself. I'll take care of things here. The young man glanced at the Rune Seed realm martial artist and quickly locked his gaze on Lu Yun. Lu Yun also looked at the young man coldly, but suddenly revealed a trace of surprise. The opponent was only in the Rune Seed realm mid-stage, although it was just a casual attack. Even a typical Rune Seed realm late stage wouldn't be able to block it so easily. This young man was able to block it, which was enough to prove that he was no ordinary person, and might be the Heavenly Pride disciple of the Profound Darkness sect. Golden Body Realm Peak, able to defeat higher realms and kill Rune Seed realm martial artists. Your talent is not bad, but unfortunately you met me. The young man was extremely arrogant, seemingly with an inborn sense of superiority. After glancing at Lu Yun, he said in a condescending tone, I will kill you within 10 moves. Master Mo, I'll leave first. Seeing that the two were about to fight, the seriously injured Rune Seed realm martial artist transformed into a rainbow light and quickly disappeared. Watching the duck that was within his grasp fly away, Lu Yun revealed no surprise. He just looked at the young man opposite him and said coldly, killing you will give me an even greater reward. Ignorant fool, you really think you are invincible after killing a Rune Seed realm mid-stage. Whoosh! The young man attacked directly, with hundreds and thousands of golden lights densely attacking Lu Yun like a golden rainstorm. Chi-chi! One golden light after another exploded, releasing a powerful force that triggered an intense spatial wave. So weak, you can't even handle a few golden light runes. The young man looked at the devastated void in front of him, frowning slightly. After a brief exchange, he sensed that Lu Yun's strength shouldn't be weak and not easily killed by his golden light runes. Boom! Suddenly, the engulfing wave was forcefully scattered by a powerful force, and an even more dazzling golden light burst out from within it. This level of power is merely tickling me. As he spoke, Lu Yun quickly charged forward, punching out with a powerful force to suppress and kill his opponent. Seeing Lu Yun not only emerge from the bombardment of his golden light runes, but also appear completely unharmed, the young man's face darkened instantly. Such a powerful body. It seems he's a cultivator who specializes in body training. No wonder he's so strong, but it still can't change the final outcome. The young man snorted coldly, gathering a huge thunderball and suddenly smashing it forward. Boom! The thunderball turned into a long thunder snake, sweeping across the sky, with countless arcs of lightning spreading out and showing a terrifying appearance, spanning the sky as it came. This thunder technique, feeling the power of the thunder snake, Lu Yun's heart throbbed. Although he could also use the thunderbolt, he couldn't unleash such power. Both the golden light runes and the thunder technique, it must be a heavenly pride of Dragon Tiger Mountain. But even if it's heavenly pride from Dragon Tiger Mountain, what's the use? Although the thunder snake was powerful, it didn't put too much pressure on Lu Yun. The 7th rank Thunderbolt intent allowed him to have some resistance against lightning attribute powers. With his nearly invincible body and accumulation of 50 runes, Lu Yun's strength had spiked again, truly reaching the peak of the rune seed realm. Humph, you're aware of Dragon Tiger Mountain's thunder technique, yet you're still so fearless. I don't know if I should call you ignorant or arrogant. The young man sneered. His body was surrounded by thunderbolts, and diamond-shaped runes emerged from within him, reinforcing the powerful thunder snake. Today, I'll let you witness the power of Dragon Tiger Mountain's thunder technique. As his voice fell, the void shook, a mysterious wave emerged, and the thunder snake suddenly grew larger, appearing like a colossal creature in the sky. At this moment, Lu Yun felt a violent and ferocious force coming from the surrounding space, as if it was about to obliterate everything. Chapter 441, Chapter 441, Chapter 245, Heavenly Pride of Two Sects, _2, Chapter 441, Chapter 245, Heavenly Pride of Two Sects, _2, Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron M, that sensation was as if he was in a domain of thunder, severed from all sensory perception. In an instant, Lu Yun understood that the opponent had already constructed a domain of thunder, and that Thunder Snake was the only spirit within the realm. Lu Yun's powerful gold body slightly trembled, subtly resisting this domain of thunder. Simultaneously, a thunder flower in his sea of consciousness trembled. It was the 7th rank thunder conception that he had reached. Under the oppression of this thunder realm, his thunder conception showed signs of slight progress. Although it was just a trace of progress, Lu Yun was still somewhat delighted in his heart. How is it? Can you feel the power of my Dragon Tiger Mountain thunder method? The young man looked down at Lu Yun from above. His previously indifferent expression was now filled with arrogance. Being the unparalleled heavenly pride of the Dragon Tiger Mountain and mastering Dragon Tiger Mountain's most profound thunder method at a young age made him naturally proud. But in the past, none of the people he met were worthy of his pride. But Lu Yun was different now. Not only did he possess a powerful physical body, but he also possessed a terrifying combat power and was a genuine heavenly pride. Such a heavenly pride was worthy of his arrogance and should know his true identity. To die under my thunder method is your good fortune. As he spoke, the whole thunder domain provoked, and the thunder snake moved its massive body. The terrifying thunder power exploded the air, directly suppressing down on Lu Yun. With such trifling strength, you want to kill me? Lu Yun laughed loudly, golden light blazing intensely on his body. The power hidden deep within his body completely erupted at this moment. This power, like a volcanic eruption, was terrifying beyond measure, shaking the heavens with its might. Boom, boom, boom. The void exploded, this small thunder domain space, in the face of this terrifying power, shattered effortlessly. Immediately after, Lu Yun's fist flew out with unstoppable force, overwhelmingly powerful, unparalleled, and directly struck the massive thunder snake. The two powers met in the air, causing the heavens and the earth to lose their color in an instant. Not waiting for the aftermath of the battle to spread, Lu Yun took a step forward. His figure disappeared from its original position, and then mysteriously appeared behind the youngster the next moment. What kind of body technique is this? The speed is so fast. The sudden change made the youth's face change greatly. The power that Lu Yun showed shocked him. The sudden burst of speed even more terrified him. This speed was almost like teleportation, incredibly fast, leaving him unable to sense it. By the time he saw, the opponent's attack was already approaching his face. At this moment, a massive fist came into view, almost transforming into a huge golden lion, attacking with bared fangs and brandished claws. The youth had no time to think. He mobilized the power of the thunder method and the runes, concentrating it on his fist, and raised his hand to block. Bang! The fists collided. The terrifying power exploded in an instant. The powerful force shattered the youth's fist, and his body rapidly retreated backward. I heard that the thunder method from Dragon Tiger Mountain is terrifying in power, but the performance from your hands is rather weak. Lu Yun casually remarked, then stepped forward, and his body again disappeared from its place. When he appeared, he was already behind the youth. He punched out, and the youth had no time to react. He was directly hit in the back. In an instant, his clothes burst, and his back was mangled and bloody. His spine fractured. Like a withered leaf in the face of this terrifying force, the severely injured body fell through the air. Lu Yun transformed into a purple thunderbolt and plunged down quickly, grabbed the youth by the neck who was about to cast a spell, held him in the air, and said, "Hand over your Dragon Tiger Mountain Thunder method, or I will spare your life." "Why are you so strong?" Fear showed on the youth's face. "I don't like to repeat myself." A slight increase in strength from Lu Yun's right hand, and there came a light snapping sound from his neck. Feeling the killing intent in Lu Yun's eyes and the strength around his neck, the youth had no doubt that as long as he hesitated, Lu Yun would kill him without hesitation. So he quickly said, "Dragon Tiger Mountain was destroyed by your demon suppression army. The inheritance fell into the hands of the demon suppression army. I can't hand it over. In that case, keeping you serves no purpose." Lu Yun slightly exerted his strength, and the youth's head immediately separated from his body. He checked the youth's Sumi ring and found a large number of spirit crystals and numerous talismans, but no thunder method that he needed. However, luckily, there were 3 7th-grade pills. From this, it could be deduced that this person had an extraordinary standing in Dragon Tiger Mountain. The only regret was that the youth didn't possess the thunder method. From what Lu Yun knew, there were many thunder methods in Dragon Tiger Mountain, such as the 5-thunder Heavenly Heart Orthodox method, Palm Thunder, 5 thunder palms, and small 5 thunder cultivation techniques. Especially the 5-thunder Heavenly Heart Orthodox method. Its supremely rigid and yang attributes closely resembled Lu Yun's pure yang martial arts canon, and could be fused. At that time, not only could it improve the limit of pure yang martial arts canon rune seed chapter, but it could also derive the golden core chapter in advance. However, with the destruction of the Dragon Tiger Mountain sect, its inheritance had fallen into the hands of the Demon Suppression Army. As an Earth-rank demon extermination general, Lu Yun would inevitably get the chance to incorporate it into his domain. After dealing with his opponent, Lu Yun returned to the battlefield. At this time, the warfare here had essentially ended. The profound Darkness Sect's camp, among the more than 5,000 martial artists, apart from 2 in the Rune Seed realm and a few who managed to escape in time in the Golden Body realm, almost all were wiped out. This battle exterminated over 5,000 enemies and can be said to be the biggest victory they had since leaving the North Desolation Mountain. Chapter 442, Chapter 442, Chapter 245, Heavenly Pride of Two Sects, _3, Chapter 442, Chapter 245, Heavenly Pride of Two Sects, _3, Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron and Hong Xingwa's gaze fell on Lu Yun, laughing. Good guy, do you know who that young man you slew just now was? Before, he had rushed over to help after joining hands with Wei Zongqing to kill a Rune Seed Realm late-stage opponent, just in time to see the last scene of Lu Yun killing his opponent. Lu Yun didn't care and said, "Isn't it just a disciple from Dragon Tiger Mountain?" He is indeed a disciple of Dragon Tiger Mountain, but he is also the second Heavenly Pride of Dragon Tiger Mountain, possessing a top-grade rune seed and having powerful strength. Even a late-stage Rune Seed Realm martial artist couldn't match him. Such a Heavenly Pride was eventually pinched to death in your hands. On the other side, the Rune Seed Realm martial artist who had just escaped from Lu Yun's hands stumbled and landed on the ground. "Emo, Shani, how come you are here? Weren't you with Elder Huang to guard the Wangle mountain range?" From the hazy fog emerged a woman in white. Her skin was clear as jade, surrounded by a radiant aura. She had an ethereal and transcendent demeanor. "Master Feng, I finally found you guys. We were attacked by the Demon Suppression Army." Elder Huang was entangled by 2 powerful Earth-rank demon extermination generals. Elder Lin was killed by a powerful Demon Suppression Army member. I was the only one who managed to escape. After seeing the ethereal Feng, Emo, Shani immediately recounted everything that had happened. If Elder Huang and Elder Lin didn't make it out, then how did you escape? Feng Yi's eyebrows slightly knitted, and she asked faintly, "I was facing certain death as well, but at a critical moment, I met Master Mo of Dragon Tiger Mountain and was able to escape with my life." "Mo Beichin? I think he is a member of the second squad, right?" Feng Yi was slightly surprised, then continued to ask, "Did you see anyone else besides Mo Beichin?" "At that time I escaped quickly, but one thing is certain, only Master Mo appeared." Mo Zhini immediately replied, "All right, you can't fight anymore. Go back to the sect and recover from your injuries. I hope Master Feng will be careful. I will leave first." After Mo Zhini left, several silhouettes walked out of the fog. All of them were exceptionally young. They were members of the first assassination squad, under the leadership of Feng Yi, causing considerable trouble to the Demon Suppression Army and hindering their advance. Among the profound Darkness sect, those with insufficient status and strength were completely unaware of the specific identities of the assassination squad members, only knowing the team leader. One of the young men in black robes said, indifferently, that Mo Beichin has always been aloof, probably voluntarily leaving the team. The young man in black robe was Yang Wuji, another Heavenly Pride of Dragon Tiger Mountain, mastering a powerful thunder method. His talent and strength were on par with Mo Beichin. His words naturally attracted the attention of the other members. "If it weren't for Master Feng's strength to subdue you, I'm afraid you would have done the same as Mo Beichin, leaving the team of your own accord, right?" Another voice spoke at an inappropriate time. It was from an extraordinary-looking young man. Zhang Zifen, if it weren't for your desire for Master Feng's beauty, would you, with your character, willingly submit to others? Yang Wuji didn't hesitate to retaliate. Just as the two unfriendly individuals were about to start, Feng Yi immediately stepped in to stop them. No more arguing. Obviously, Feng Yi not only possessed peerless beauty, but also had great prestige. Both Zhang Zifen and Yang Wuji obediently closed their mouths. Chapter 443. Chapter 443. Chapter 246. The Attack of the 10 Heavenly Prides. Chapter 443. Chapter 246. The Attack of the 10 Heavenly Prides. Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron, Yang Wuji, and Zhang Zifen were both heavenly prides of Dragon Tiger Mountain, cultivating thunder method with explosive tempers. However, in front of Feng Yi, they seemed cautious. Feng Yi casually said, "According to Mo Zhini, there is a demon suppression army nearby. It's been a while since we stirred things up." Upon hearing this, the others seemed interested, but they did not immediately agree. They have tens of thousands in their demon suppression army, with numerous Earth-rank demon extermination generals. We need to plan carefully, otherwise it won't be easy to withdraw whole. Don't worry, there are at most 10 Rune Seed Realm powerhouses, and they are no match for us. As long as we're not completely tied down by the demon suppression army, we can retreat anytime. Feng Yi spoke indifferently, seemingly not taking the tens of thousands of demon suppression army and Earth-rank demon extermination generals into consideration. Indeed, their 10-person team was no pushover. The weakest members were at the middle stage of the Rune Seed Realm, and at full power, they could even annihilate a 10,000-strong demon-suppressing army. If they were not worried about being bogged down and drawing reinforcements from the demon suppression army, they could even handle a 20,000-strong demon-suppressing legion. One of the more prudent youths said, "Senior Sister Feng, we must not be careless." According to Mo Zhini, one of the demon extermination generals can control a mountain to suppress a region's space. If I'm not mistaken, that demon extermination general must be Hong Xingwu, who has comprehended the Rune Seed divine ability. During the battle with the White Lotus sect, he killed an elder of the White Lotus sect, and was even able to fight with the peak powerhouses of the Rune Seed realm. If we are entangled with him, it won't be easy to escape. However, Feng Yi decisively waved her hand. What's there to be afraid of? He's not the only one who has comprehended the Rune Seed divine ability, and it's not like no Rune Seed realm peak cultivator has been defeated by me. The young man wanted to continue persuading her, but Feng Yi's gaze turned cold, and he could only shake his head with a bitter smile. Afterward, Feng Yi swept her gaze over the others and said coldly, "If there are no objections, let's go." At this point, who would dare object? Whiz, whiz, whiz. The 10 of them turned into streaks of light, instantly disappearing from their original location. Mountain Outlook Peak. After annihilating more than 5,000 people from the Profound Darkness sect's camp yesterday, the 5th Army, 9th Army, and 18th Army of the Far Suppression Legion continued to advance towards the Mountain Outlook Peak. According to the Star Plate, they were almost in sync with the other armies. Moreover, there was a distance of 1,500 miles between them and the Demon Suppression Army on their left and right wings, respectively. For a Rune Seed Realm powerhouse, it would take just over 100 breaths to cover that distance. Wei Zongqing looked at the flashing dots on the star plate and frowned. "Brother Hong, are we being too cautious? We've been advancing steadily and cautiously, and at this rate, even if we finally eradicate the Profound Darkness sect, our brothers won't reap many military merits." Hong Xingwu shook his head and said, "By advancing at this pace, we can cooperate with each other on both wings. If they encounter an attack, we can assist them anytime. Likewise, if we encounter an attack, others can support us as well minimizing our losses. You're right. My original full complement of 15,000 soldiers is now down to less than 10,000. Nearly a third of my brothers have fallen, and I don't know how many will be left after we eliminate the Profound Darkness sect. As he said this, Wei Zongqing sighed deeply. The Profound Darkness sect was now just an obstacle in their way, and they would have to face even more powerful opponents like the Red Moon Demon sect and the Nine Nether Demon sect afterwards. When dealing with these top sects, even the two of them could barely defend themselves, let alone their demon extermination generals and guards. With these thoughts in mind, Wei Zongqing asked, "Brother Hong, you have many sources of information. Do you know how the battle in the Scarlet Moon Demon Domain is going?" After pondering for a moment, Hong Xingwu said, "It's quite difficult, especially after the 9 Nether Demon sects' interference. The Demon Suppression Army's main advance slowed down significantly, and Golden Core realm powerhouses are constantly clashing. I really hope that after we eradicate the Profound Darkness sect and the remaining forces of Dragon Tiger Mountain, we receive good news from there." "Haha, what, are you afraid?" Hong Xingwu laughed. Wei Zongqing smiled bitterly. "How can I not be? Fighting against sects like the Red Moon Demon sect and 9 Nether Demon sect is risky. One wrong move could lead to confrontation with Golden Core realm powerhouses or even attract the attention of celestial humans, which makes it all too easy to lose one's life." Hong Xingwu carefully examined Wei Zongqing and shook his head slightly. If it were Lu Yun, he might be able to attract the attention of celestial humans, but not you. There was something else he held back from saying. That was that the celestial humans were high above, overlooking everything. They wouldn't pay attention to Wei Zongqing, nor even notice him, someone who had condensed a top-grade rune seed and comprehended his own rune seed divine ability. "I'm not worried about the remote possibility of 1 in 10,000. Even if the celestial humans really don't care about me, getting accidentally caught in the crossfire is still very dangerous. Comparatively speaking, I prefer to fight against forces like the Profound Darkness sect. It's safer." Wei Zongqing carelessly said, "In the Profound Darkness domain battlefield, there may be powerhouses who can easily kill me, but not that many. However, as soon as I enter the Scarlet Moon Demon Domain battlefield, there will be too many people who can easily annihilate me. You've become too cautious and have lost your fearlessness. In the past, you were on a par with Zhuang Ziyuan as the most outstanding black-rank demon extermination general in the Far Suppression Legion. But he was willing to risk his life, seizing opportunities, and ultimately condensing a top-grade rune seed." Chapter 444, Chapter 444, Chapter 246, Attack of the 10 Heavenly, Chapter 444, Chapter 246, Attack of the 10 Heavenly Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron and Prides _2 now. His cultivation has advanced by leaps and bounds. Not only is his strength far surpassing yours, but he has also comprehended an incomparably powerful rune seed divine ability. Even the other heavenly level demon extermination generals hold him in high regard. Haha, there's no comparison, no comparison. Wei Zongqing shook his head and laughed, but his smile was a little bitter. Just as Hong Xingwu said, he and Zhuang Ziyuan were once considered equals as heavenly prides. However, he did not have the same determination as his opponent, and in the end, he failed to successfully condense the top-grade rune seed, thus widening the gap between him and Zhuang Ziyuan. But he did not regret it. Although he failed to condense a top-grade rune seed, he still had a top-tier mid-level rune seed, which, although somewhat weaker in potential, he hoped to achieve the Golden Core realm. As for the higher realm of the celestial human, he had never been ambitious for it. Without higher ambitions, there's nothing to regret. The two casually chatted when they suddenly saw Lu Yun, who was cultivating nearby, surrounded by a brilliant golden light. He's inscribed another rune. Hong Xingwu and Wei Zongqing looked at each other, both seeing a trace of astonishment in each other's eyes. This is already the third rune, right? Hong Xingwu exclaimed. In just one day, he inscribed 3 runes. At this rate, within 2 months, he will be able to condense rune seeds. He clearly remembered that when he was at the peak of the Golden Body realm and refining rune seeds, it took him 1.5 years. At this rate, he would almost break the records of many people in the Far Suppression Legion and nearly catch up with Bai Changfeng's record. But now Lu Yun was inscribing 3 runes a day right in front of him. I didn't really believe when he said it would take just 2 or 3 months to condense rune seeds. It seems conservative now. The phantom of the Yuan Hai that appeared behind Lu Yun now had 53 golden diamond-shaped runes. Combined with his current cultivation speed, it wouldn't be long before he met the requirements for condensing top-grade rune seeds. Looking at the law runes that had condensed on the Yuan Hai, Lu Yun was filled with excitement. Before this, he could only condense 2 runes a day before reaching his limit. Today, he seemed to have broken through that limit, condensing 3 law runes. His eyes slowly opened, just in time to see Hong Xingwu and Wei Zongqing looking at him as if he were a strange creature. Ahem, Lu Yun coughed lightly and laughed. Aren't you 2 done yet? It's pretty uncomfortable to have you staring at me like this. The 2 reluctantly withdrew their gazes, and Hong Xingwu said, All right, Lu Yun's cultivation has come to an end, and since everyone else is more or less recovered, let's move on. Lu Yun glanced around and saw that almost all the warships were already activated and arranged in the air. Realizing that he seemed to have cultivated too much, Hong Xingwu said, The left and right wings have already pulled us 100 miles apart. We can't fall behind too much. Let's get going. Wei Zongqing laughed. I hope we can encounter another big fish so we can feast on it again. Hong Xingwu wasn't as optimistic, saying, If the fish is too big, not only will we not be able to chew it, but we might also be swallowed by it instead. Wei Zongqing glanced at Hong Xingwu and then at Lu Yun, his spirits high. With the 2 of you here, no matter how big the fish, we can handle it. No, I'm just at the Gold Body realm. The 2 of you are the main force. Lu Yun stood up, slapped his buttocks, and turned into a rainbow light, flying towards the number 18 warship. Your Gold Body realm is different. You've increased your battle strength by a whole realm, and your cultivation speed is astonishing. Wei Zongqing yelled at Lu Yun's retreating figure before turning into a rainbow light and flying towards the warship in the sky. Ha ha! Hong Xingwu smiled and shook his head without saying anything else, turning into a rainbow light and landing on the N0. 5 warship. Boom! Lights flashed, and the warship pierced through the sky. At this moment, the fighting spirit began to rise within the 3 of them. Wei Zongqing accumulated military merits to lay a foundation for his future promotion to the Golden Core realm. After witnessing the potential displayed by Lu Yun, a newcomer, Hong Xingwu felt increasing pressure. As for Lu Yun, he was looking forward to fighting and growing stronger through battle. Feng Yi's eyes flashed coldly, pointing to the front and saying, They are coming, let's attack. Hee, I've been itching for this. Yang Wuji condensed a huge thunderball in his hand and fiercely threw it forward. Boom, boom, boom. The giant thunderball instantly transformed into a thunder snake, sweeping across the sky, traversing the heavens, and heavily crashing down. Zhang Zifen glanced at Yang Wuji and then also conjured his terrifying thunder method, Purple Lightning Extermination. This thunder method was terrifyingly strong, transforming into a ghastly centipede, with countless arcs of lightning spreading out. Its power was no less than that of Yang Wuji's thunder snake, and both fiercely exploded towards the smaller warships on either side of warship number 18. At the same time, both warship N0, 5 and warship N0, 9 were attacked. How bold! Courting death. Be on guard. Almost simultaneously, three extremely angry voices rang out. Lu Yun looked at the two terrifying attacks descending from the sky and immediately understood that they were under attack. Furthermore, the opponents launched their killing moves right from the beginning, not giving the Demon Suppression Army any chance to react. Two terrifying thunderbolts fell from both sides and bombarded the warships on the left and right. On each of these warships were nearly 1,000 members of the Demon Suppression Army. Any of the warships that suffered such an attack would take heavy losses. However, Lu Yun was only one person and could only save one of the warships. After a moment of struggle in his heart, Lu Yun quickly made the decision to save the warship with the Flying Spirit Martial Academy disciples on it. One flip turns clouds to rain. Divine light appeared in Lu Yun's palm as he reached out to grab the falling thunder snake at its vitals. His powerful flesh burst forth, forcibly holding it back. Then he gathered his strength and punched it. With a bang, the horrifying thunder snake was blown apart, turning into endless arcs of lightning scattering in all directions. On the warship, the many demon extermination guards, who had thought they could not escape disaster, all breathed a sigh of relief as they watched the scene. Under the pressure of the thunder snake, they had no intention of resisting in their hearts. It wasn't that they were afraid, but the gap between them was simply too great. The strongest person on the warship was no more than a mid-level gold body, realm black rank demon extermination general. That thunder snake could easily kill a mid-level rune seed realm expert. Moreover, there simply wasn't enough time to even activate the warship's formations. Looking at those who had narrowly escaped death, there was no joy in Lu Yun's heart, only boundless anger. His gaze fell on the other warship, where it was filled with countless lightning bolts and accompanied by miserable screams. It was as if the warship turned into an endless, thunderous hell, devouring the lives of one soldier after another from the Demon Suppression Army. Damn it, they really deserve to die. The vicious look in Lu Yun's eyes was like a flood. Since he became an Earth-rank demon extermination general, he had never suffered such a heavy blow. More importantly, he hadn't even seen the face of his enemy this time. Yo, not bad at all. You could actually block my full power attack. An arrogant voice suddenly sounded, and then a young man in a black robe appeared in midair, clasping his hands and smiling leisurely at Lu Yun, surrounded by thunder. A mere gold body realm cultivator can block your attack. Yang Wuji, it seems your strength isn't that great either. A flash of purple lightning appeared, and Zhang Zifen, dressed in a purple robe, revealed himself, looking at Yang Wuji with disdain. Humph, Zhang Zifen, you shouldn't underestimate him, or you might capsize in the gutter. Although the two didn't get along, Yang Wuji still warned him. Rest assured, leave him to me. You continue to attack the other Demon Suppression Army. Let's finish this quickly. Having said that, Zhang Zifen transformed into a bolt of lightning and charged at Lu Yun willingly. At the same time, Yang Wuji disappeared on the spot, turning into a thunderbolt, diving down and crashing into the warship. Thunder method. Disciples of Dragon Tiger Mountain. Unforgivable. There was an ultimate killing intent in Lu Yun's eyes. Clang. The sky brilliance sword seemed to be pulled out of thin air, and its sword chi surged like an ocean. In the blink of an eye, a peerlessly elegant sword slashed out. Chapter 445, Chapter 445, Chapter 247. Powerful. Chapter 445, Chapter 247. Powerful Lease reading Omicron N. Novel Cool. Omicron M. Zhang Zifen is a direct descendant of the Dragon Tiger Mountain Celestial Master lineage, not only practicing the Five Thunders' Heavenly Heart Secret, but also mastering the most authentic thunder method. Purple thunderbolts surround his body, with arcs of lightning flickering and interweaving, covering the sky. Dying under my Dragon Tiger Mountain Supreme Thunder technique, you can be proud. The proud and cold voice accompanies the intense thunder, shaking everyone's hearts. Especially the terrifying thunderbolts filling the void, when fully unleashed, exert strong pressure that makes people's hearts tremble with fear. Ordinary thunderbolts are the power of nature, making ordinary people and low-level martial artists fear and avoid touching them. The thunderbolts, controlled by those who cultivate the thunder method, are even more terrifying, comparable to the power of thunder tribulation. Now, the power of the thunderbolts displayed by Zhang Zifen has far exceeded the thunder tribulation generated when stepping into the rune seed realm. Rumble, rumble, whoosh, whoosh. Thunderbolts bloom, purple light bursts forth, and countless arcs of lightning leap like serpents, so dense and numerous that just looking at them from afar makes one's scalp tingle. Facing the apocalyptic thunderbolts, Lu Yun's expression is indifferent, as if he is looking at a clear and cloudless sky. He casually wields his sword. Executing the one sword terminates the world. Sky, brilliance, thunder sword, true art. One sword terminates the world. The sword radiance is like a torrential sea, surging and boundless, suddenly bursting forth. It carries the supreme sword intent, encapsulating terrifying true thunder, breaking through everything. The Sect's supreme cultivation technique, Sky, Brilliance, Thunder Sword, True Art, unleashed by Lu Yun, is far more terrifying than when the sect master of the Sky Brilliance sect uses all his strength to execute just one such sword. Sword Qi soars to the sky. Sword Light is peerless, dispelling the thunderbolts and cutting through everything. No, watching the one sword terminates the world, which instantly breaks through the sky and slashes towards him. Zhang Zifen's soul trembles, his eyes are bloodshot, and thunderbolts constantly bloom from his body. However, the power contained in that sword light does not diminish in the slightest, and its speed is incredibly fast. In the blink of an eye, it crosses the sky and arrives in front of him. Endless sword light fills his pupils. Endless terror fills his heart. One sword terminates the world. This is the one sword that Lu Yun unleashes with resentment. Simultaneously, he uses the rune, pure yang strong origin, and thunder conception to strike with explosive power. So terrifying is this power that even a true rune seed realm peak might not be able to shake it. Zhang Zifen, disregarding Yang Wuji's advice, is arrogant and self-confident, with no defenses and in a rush to respond. How can he block this? No, I definitely won't fall here. Watching the unstoppable sword light about to end everything, Zhang Zifen is terrified in his heart. It seems as if he thinks of something, and he directly shatters both of his hands. Jets of blood containing terrifying power burst forth, merging with his thunder method, and his power suddenly surges. Even so, that peerless sword light remains unstoppable, and its power does not diminish much at all. Seeing this, Zhang Zifen is both shocked and terrified. He seems to have gone mad, continuously unleashing thunderbolts and crazily trying to block that all-cutting sword light. However, there is almost no effect. The Sky Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art already contains a powerful thunderbolt intent, and the power of the thunderbolts within it is not much less than his own thunder method. How can he possibly block it? If he had given his all from the beginning to face Lu Yun, perhaps he could have blocked it. But since he had only considered Lu Yun as a gold body realm martial artist, his fate had already been decided. As the one sword crosses the sky and Zhang Zifen's consciousness falls into darkness, he seems to see a faint halo flying towards him. The figure within the halo seems familiar, as if it is his dearly loved one. He wants to say something, but the world before his eyes quickly plunges into darkness, and his consciousness fades away. Dragon Tiger Mountain's heavenly pride, Zhang Zifen, has thus fallen. Lu Yun sheathes his sword and stands, gazing warily at the beautiful figure that suddenly appears before him. Cloud and fog entwine, being disturbed by the residual sword chi, revealing the blurry figure's graceful posture. This is a woman in a white dress. To ordinary people, the first impression is that she is as pure and fairy-like as a celestial. She is only to be admired from afar. Even looking at her for too long may be considered disrespectful. In Lu Yun's eyes, she is not only an extremely beautiful and ethereal woman, but also a dangerous figure. At the Golden Body Realm peak, surpassing a higher realm to kill Zhang Zifen, even a monster like the Morijin Saint Child might not be able to accomplish this. With black hair gently dancing and long eyelashes quivering, Feng Yi coldly looks at Lu Yun, her misty eyes seemingly filled with water. As she speaks, her red lips and jade teeth sparkle with a crystal luster. Lu Yun has never been moved by feminine charm, but this woman gives him a stunning feeling. It is not just her breathtakingly beautiful appearance, nor is it solely her transcendent and detached temperament that leaves others feeling inferior. More importantly, it's the faint pressure emanating from her. You have the qualification to leave your name before you die. The voice is like heavenly music, extremely pleasant to the ears, but contains the ultimate coldness that makes one feel bone-chilling cold. If one said that her appearance, temperament, and strength evoked a sense of flawlessness and stunning beauty in Lu Yun's heart, now, her displayed arrogant self-confidence and chilling murderous intent completely shatters this sense of stunning beauty in his heart. But here, you have no qualification to leave your name. Lu Yun looks coldly and sharply at Feng Yi, his eyes as cold and sharp as if he is looking at a red skull without a ripple in his heart. In a situation like this, he will not show pity or mercy because the other party is a beautiful woman. After all, she is a person from the profound darkness sect faction and stands on the opposite side of him, making it almost impossible for them to coexist. Chapter 446, Chapter 446, Chapter 247, Powerful _2, Chapter 446, Chapter 247, Powerful _2, Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron and moreover, the killing intent of the opponent was not concealed at all. Just from the sudden attack earlier, and the battleships that were being attacked, with the screams and wails coming from the Demon Suppression Army, it could be understood what the opponent's intentions and goals were. It's been a long time since I've seen someone as arrogant as you. Feng Yi sneered coldly, her exquisite figure trembling slightly, her white clothes emitting a charming luster as if enveloped by a hazy moonlight, making it unclear whether she was holy or bewitching. Once the words fell, her entire body disappeared and transformed into a rain of light falling in the sky, like a scattering of delicate petals in the air, accompanied by a cold laugh throughout the process. This sudden turn of events left Lu Yun greatly taken aback. The opponent had vanished with her flesh and blood body right before him, as if her previous figure had been an illusion. The rain of light scattered and abruptly reassembled in front of him, forming a holy, ethereal, and pure figure again. However, this time, the target of the opponent was the number 18 battleship. Feng Yi's target from the very start was not Lu Yun, but the Demon Suppression Army. The provocations and ridicules before were meant to draw Lu Yun's attention, so they could launch a thunderous attack and heavily damage the Demon Suppression Army. She stretched out her pair of delicate, white hands, and a palm print surged with divine light like a torrent, directly pressing down on battleship number 18. Boom! This was a golden palm, like a golden cloud, carrying terrifying pressure, and fell down like an unstoppable force, causing suffocation. Seeing this palm, everyone was shocked and trembling all over. Yi Xian, Qing Ho, and the others shouted together, exerting their strength to the limit, doing their best to urge the array to resist the attack of the golden giant hand. From the moment they were attacked, All the battleships had activated their defenses right away, and Yi Xian and the others were ready to respond to any sudden changes. At this time, Yi Xian had already advanced to the rune seed realm, and Qingho had condensed his rune seeds to become a half-step rune seed realm martial artist, with the addition of other black-rank demon extermination generals taking action. They could greatly stimulate the defense array on the battleship. Bang! Bang! The palm momentum was majestic and unparalleled. The battleship's defense array could not withstand it at all. Battleship number 18 was a superior treasure, and its defense array was incredibly powerful, but it required a powerful martial artist to fully activate it. Yi Xian and the others, even if they exhausted their strength, could barely block the power of a beginner rune seed realm at its peak. However, this golden giant hand clearly exceeded that level. After it fell, the defense shield on the battleship cracked with a snap. Yi Xian, Qingho, and the others were sent flying by the remaining force. Feng Yi's holy figure, like a supreme being overlooking everything, stood in midair. However, seeing that her full-strength palm attack barely broke the defensive array of the battleship, her eyebrows wrinkled slightly. She knew that every battleship of the Demon Suppression Army possessed a powerful array, and as long as they were activated in time, they would be in an invulnerable position. That's why she ordered Yang Wuji, Zhang Zifen, and the others to act first, drawing away all the powerful martial artists on the battleship. However, Zhang Zifen was too careless and was killed by Lu Yun just after the fight began. Furthermore, Lu Yun's demonstrated strength was too great, not at all inferior to the rune seed realm's peak. If he made another move, Yang Wuji would likely perish too. In light of this, she took action. In her heart, she also wanted to kill Lu Yun. After all, the talent Lu Yun had shown was too terrifying. At the peak of the Gold Body realm, he demonstrated the combat strength of the rune seed realm's peak. Although he was still not as strong as her, it made her deeply wary in her heart. But she also knew that killing Lu Yun would not be simple unless she went all out without reservation. If she really did that, she was afraid that she wouldn't be able to retreat in time. As a result, she decided to continue with her original plan. That's why she appeared to intimidate Lu Yun, spoke threatening words to get his attention, and allowed Yang Wuji to retreat in time. And then she displayed her divine ability to directly attack one of the main battleships. Without a powerful martial artist in command, even if a top-notch treasure-level ship had a powerful defense array, it wouldn't have much power. However, the outcome left her somewhat surprised. Just a martial artist entering the rune seed realm could block her full-strength palm attack. Others didn't know the power of her palm, but she herself was very clear about it. Even someone as strong as Zhang Zifen and Yang Wuji, the heavenly prides of Dragon Tiger Mountain, would struggle to survive under her palm attack. With such a terrifying warship, it's no wonder that the Morijin Demon Suppression Army is approaching step by step, forcing the sect to shrink its strength. Feng Yi softly muttered, then waved her sleeve and pulled out a long sword from the void. This sword was not a real weapon, but a sword condensed from law runes, with void as its scabbard. When it appeared in her hand, a sky-reaching sword intent burst forth. What? How is this possible? Yi Xian and Qingho were both staring dumbfounded at Feng Yi. Their distance from her was very close. In addition, after the defensive array was broken, her peerless figure appeared clearly in front of their eyes. But at this moment, they completely ignored Feng Yi's peerless appearance and ethereal, otherworldly aura, completely intimidated by her display of powerful strength. They could vaguely feel that Feng Yi's rune-condensed sword had a pressure that broke through a realm. Boom! All of a sudden, Feng Yi took a step forward, and her momentum broke through, reaching a horrifying peak of the rune seed realm. At this moment, Shock and terror filled the eyes of Yi Xian, Qing Ho, and a group of demon extermination generals. This peerless, arrogant woman was actually at the peak of the rune seed realm. Wei Zongqing and Hong Xingwa's side was also attracted by the sudden explosion of Feng Yi, but they were all entangled by their opponents and could not provide assistance at all. Especially Wei Zongqing, who had a slightly weaker strength. Relying on his Black Mountain Seal, he could only block one person. The other two heavenly prides, after breaking through the warship's defensive array, were slaughtering madly within the demon suppression army. Wei Zongqing roared in anger, desperately urging the Black Mountain Seal, releasing terrifying black silence, profound thunder. Just an impotent, angry roar. Evading the flashing profound thunder, the heavenly pride of the assassin squad sneered. But every time Wei Zongqing tried to rescue someone, he would be stopped in time. Die, I want you dead. Wei Zongqing's eyes were blood red as he felt his brothers fall one by one. However, his enemy was in the late rune seed realm and had no weak means. Even if he went all out to activate the Black Mountain Seal, he couldn't completely gain the upper hand. While he was trapped in madness, he was suddenly interrupted by a horrifying explosion. Worried, he said, "That direction, it seems to be Lu Yun's opponent." At this time, Feng Yi had condensed a powerful rune sword and unleashed it to a peak of the rune seed realm. Zingklang Zeng. As the powerful sword intent erupted, the terrifying guards swept in all directions, and Feng Yi swung her sword heavily. If this sword fell completely, many of the demon suppression army on the 18th warship would suffer heavy casualties. Lu Yun knew this as well. He had not acted in time earlier because of shock, which resulted in the defense array being broken. But now, when he regained his senses, how could he let her attack land? The instant horizon technique allowed him to vanish on the spot and reappear in the next moment, already above the warship. At the same time, Feng Yi's astonishing sword strike thundered down. At this moment, Lu Yun activated the 3,000 Thunder movement, using the Sky Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, his speed reaching an extreme. In this moment, Lu Yun was like a bolt of lightning, tearing through the sky, his figure invisible, only a touch of intense brightness sword radiance blooming. Sky Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, second form. One sword terminates the void. The sword light shone, and the sword intent surged like a great sea, engulfing this terrifying rune sword. When did he appear? Yi Xian and the others almost exclaimed simultaneously. The sudden appearance of Lu Yun not only caught them off guard, but it also surprised Feng Yi, because the technique Lu Yun used was somewhat similar to the divine ability she used earlier. More importantly, in such a hurry, he could actually block her attack. Chapter 447. Chapter 447. Chapter 248 Target, Refining Rune Seed. Chapter 447. Chapter 248 Target, Refining Rune Seed Lease Reading Omicron N. Novel Cool. Omicron M. Humph. After a moment of incredulity, Feng Yi sneered coldly. Despite Lu Yun's sudden outburst, she didn't stop her attacks. A blazing, sacred light burst forth from her body, forming a realm of snow and ice that extended around her amid resounding sounds of the great Tao. At this moment, she was like a saintly fairy of ice and snow. With a mere wave of her hand, she drew upon the power of a whole realm, demonstrating her unparalleled combat strength. Boom! Feeling threatened, Lu Yun countered her attack with a punch that emitted a dazzling golden radiance. All the strength of his flesh surged intensively, as if a raging sea stirring within him. Sky lion shaking the sky, limitless ice and snow. For a moment, the intense radiance of the heavenly lion and the endless snow and ice concealed everything. The terrifying energy swept out, causing the whole sky to tremble. Even warship number 18 rocked and swayed under the shockwaves of this energy. Boom! Feng Yi felt the impact of Lu Yun's terrifying power. Her delicate body trembled, but she quickly suppressed the void with one hand, forcing Lu Yun to retreat. Feng Yi, fully unleashed, was too powerful, exceeding too much the limitless ice and snow. Although Lu Yun burst out with the strongest flesh power, he could only block the opponent's attack. It was impossible to force her back. Feng Yi continued her attacks. Each time her jade-like arm waved, it invoked the formidable power of heaven and earth. Lu Yun naturally did not let her succeed. After being repelled, he applied the instant horizon to teleport back. At this point, he could not care about the excessive load. He was determined to block the opponent with all his might. Thus, the battle between the two became even more intense. "What a terrifying woman!" Yi Xian exclaimed, full of shock as he looked at the battle unfolding in the sky. "We need to reactivate the array quickly, or General Lu won't be able to hold on for much longer." Qing Ho growled, mobilizing energy to reframe the warship's defensive array. After taking the pill and resting for a moment, his combat power was almost fully recovered. Meng Fan, Fang Hui, and other black-ranked demon extermination generals at the scene also began to move. In this way, the defensive array of Warship Number 18 was activated again. It could hold back Feng Yi's full-strength attack for a while. I wonder how Warship Number 5 and Warship N09 are doing. Withstanding Feng Yi's attack, Lu Yun wondered. The enemy's strength was formidable this time, the weakest among them being in the mid-level rune seed realm. And their strength was tremendous. They all had the ability to fight beyond their level. Especially this woman. She had reached the peak of the rune seed realm, used immensely powerful measures. And in front of her, Lu Yun could only cope reactively and had no ability to counterattack. Thump, thump, thump. Countless flying ice swords attacked Lu Yun. In no more than a few breaths of time, Lu Yun was hit at least hundreds of times by these ice swords. If it were not for his armor blocking most of the damage, Lu Yun would likely have been severely injured. Nevertheless, some of the terrifying force still penetrated, injuring Lu Yun. His internal organs were damaged to various extents, and his mouth overflowed with blood charged with terrifying energy. He felt vexed internally. He could sense that the vitality of the armor was rapidly weakening. If this continued, he feared the armor would be destroyed. All or nothing, he thought. Lu Yun let out a mental roar, then gripped the sky-brilliant sword in both hands and fiercely slashed towards the realm of ice and snow. One invincible strike was the third stance of the sky-brilliance thunder sword, True Art. Its power was far superior to the first two stances. With a slash, he cracked open Feng Yi's realm of ice and snow, and the immense pressure suddenly disappeared. However, before Lu Yun could rejoice, two law runes that resembled ice crystals flew out, and the realm of ice and snow stabilized once again. Lu Yun's strength was suppressed by 2/3 within this ice and snow realm, which made the situation worse than ever. Ice and snow. Right flames, he thought. Lu Yun's eyes brightened, and his golden blood flow inside his body started boiling with a violent factor. Then a white lotus-shaped flame came out of his body, triggering boundless fires. The grade of this flame reached the 7th rank. How's that possible? Feng Yi was slightly surprised by the sudden eruption of the white lotus flame, and her beautiful eyes lit up as she looked at Lu Yun. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At that moment, sounds of breaking through the sky came from the distance, and 8 rainbow lights swiftly arrived. Above Lu Yun, a path of golden light suddenly appeared, and a figure with strong aura emerged from it. It was Zhuang Ziyuan. The Law River rolled out. The realm of ice and snow violently trembled, coupled with the eruption of the white lotus flame. It shattered instantly, dispersing into snow and ice, floating in the air. Feng Yi glanced at Lu Yun and then Zhuang Ziyuan, who was stepping on the promising path. Her beautiful eyes were ice-cold, but she did not say a word. And then she vanished in thin air, disappeared in the blink of an eye. The vast, powerful aura surged away like a tide. Immediately after, Lu Yun's body relaxed. The armor couldn't maintain its previous shape anymore, instantly returning to the common armor form. Elsewhere, the Demon Suppression Army, led by Wei Zongqing, suffered heavy losses. Nearly 2,000 of the Demon Suppression Army fell into the hands of the invader team. Just when Wei Zongqing felt despair, the void fluctuated, and a middle-aged man in black armor emerged. By Changfeng, the faces of the three young heavenly prides in the invader team changed, and their eyes showed fear. Without any hesitation, they transformed into a rainbow and escaped into the open sky. Chapter 448, Chapter 448, Chapter 248 Target, Refining Rune Seed _2, Chapter 448, Chapter 248 Target, Refining Rune Seed _2, Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron M. You've killed so many of our Demon Suppression Army, and still want to escape? Bai Changfeng coldly snorted. A pitch-black spear appeared in his hand. Without moving his body, he directly waved the spear and stabbed at the sky repeatedly. One of the heavenly pride who attacked the small team was flying when his body suddenly trembled, and then his body was pierced through. This so strong. Wei Zongqing was shocked. That young heavenly pride possessed late rune seed realm combat power, and could even suppress him. Bai Changfeng merely waved the spear lightly, yet he was able to pierce through the opponent. The two sides were not on the same level at all. Could he have already broken through to the Golden Core realm? Wei Zongqing guessed, as Bai Changfeng's displayed strength was truly powerful, astonishing his heart. Bai Changfeng glanced at Wei Zongqing, whose appearance was very miserable, and said, "You stay here for now, just in case." As he spoke, Bai Changfeng's body turned into a rainbow light, quickly chasing after the escaping individuals. Wei Zongqing looked at the disappearing figure of Bai Changfeng with a palpitating heart, then landed back on the battleship. Looking at the corpses lying across the two battleships, his heart felt heavy, as well as full of deep self-blame. An incompetent general leads to the downfall of the whole army. Due to his own lack of strength and being unable to block the attacking enemies, 2,000 Demon Suppression Army soldiers were slaughtered. Thinking of this, Wei Zongqing's eyes turned blood red. In a mere few dozen breaths, 2,000 Demon Suppression Army soldiers met their deaths. The loss was unprecedentedly heavy. Striding with a heavy step, Wei Zongqing walked slowly on the somewhat damaged battleship, his heart aching. Especially when he saw the bodies piled up together. His heart ached even more, as if countless steel needles were piercing through it. "Brother Wei, are you all right?" Hong Xingwu landed like a ghost beside Wei Zongqing. He was attacked by 4 people, but his strength was powerful. Relying on his own power, he managed to block 3 people. Furthermore, he had 2 Earth-rank demon extermination generals under his command, and they managed to hold off for a while. Although they eventually lost nearly 1,000 Demon Suppression Army soldiers, they killed 1 enemy. In the end, the combined loss wasn't too large and still within an acceptable range. In fine, Wei Zongqing forced a smile, but it appeared somewhat stiff. Hong Xingwu naturally knew the reason and said, "Brother Wei, don't blame yourself." The strength of the attackers this time was too strong. Every one of them was a heavenly pride, with the weakest being comparable to the late stage of the Rune Seed realm. It's already quite good that you've managed to limit the losses to 2,000 soldiers. Hong Xingwu was right. Faced with the onslaught of at least 3 late-stage Rune Seed realm combatants, Wei Zongcheng's situation wasn't too bad, as he avoided a total annihilation of his army. How is Lu Yun's situation? Wei Zongcheng suddenly thought of the 18th battleship, which had erupted with an incredibly powerful aura, at least at the peak of the Rune Seed realm. He couldn't help but worry about Lu Yun. I just went to check on him. His situation is not too bad, and the loss is not too big. However, it seems he has suffered some heavy damage, and he was resting and healing when I arrived. As long as he's all right. Wei Zongcheng let out a sigh of relief. In his heart, Lu Yun's weight was far greater than 2,000 demon suppression army soldiers. Glancing at Wei Zongcheng, Hong Xingwu said, "Your current situation isn't very good either. Recover from your injuries first, and then after Bai Changfeng and the others return, we can discuss the next steps." "All right, Brother Hong, please watch over everything." Wei Zongcheng nodded, then turned and entered a side hall of the battleship to heal. Having just been attacked, the possibility of the enemy sneaking another attack was small. With Hong Xingwu guarding, he didn't worry too much. Not long after, several battleships arrived one after another. These were the Demon Suppression Army, led by Bai Changfeng and Zhuang Ziyuan. Upon learning that Hong Xingwu and Lu Yun, among others, had been attacked, they immediately came to their aid. The speed of the battleships was somewhat slower than that of Bai Changfeng, Zhuang Ziyuan, and other top Earth-rank demon extermination generals. They only arrived a long time after the battle had ended. However, now that nearly 100,000 demon suppression army soldiers had gathered together, they were no longer worried about being attacked again. 4 hours later, Bai Changfeng, Zhuang Ziyuan, and several other Earth-rank demon extermination generals returned. Heavenly-rank demon extermination General Dugu Yuan also returned with them. It turned out that after Bai Changfeng and the others chased them down, they had a fierce and bloody battle. After killing 2 Heavenly Pride members of the opposing squad, they drew the attention of a Golden Core Realm true master from the Profound Darkness Sect's camp. Although Bai Changfeng was powerful, he was only at the peak of the Rune Seed realm and not an opponent for a Golden Core Realm true master. With the presence of Feng Yi, who was not much weaker than Bai Changfeng, they were soon heavily injured. Subsequently, if not for Dugu Yun's timely appearance, Bai Changfeng, Zhuang Ziyuan, and others may have perished in large numbers. Despite this, one of the Earth-rank demon extermination generals who chased after them still fell. However, Dugu Yun was not one to be trifled with. He killed another Heavenly Pride from the opposing side, adding to the several that Bai Changfeng and the others had killed earlier. This led to a significant victory, and they barely compensated for the losses suffered during the attack. Bai Changfeng, Zhuang Ziyuan, and the others were injured, and their combat strength had decreased. They needed time to recover from their injuries. 2 days later, everyone's injuries were fully recovered, and the Demon Suppression Army advanced forward again. In less than half a day, the front line of the Far Suppression Legion advanced 20,000 miles, launching a full offensive against the Profound Darkness Sect's camp. This time, in addition to Wei Tianluan, who acted as the cornerstone, Dugu Yun, Linghu Dao, and Master Chang Kong, all 2 heavenly-level demon extermination generals, and 1 true master, went into action. With 3 Golden Core Realm experts, nearly 100 Rune Seed Realm experts, and hundreds of thousands of Demon Suppression Army soldiers advancing, their numbers and momentum completely overwhelmed the Profound Darkness Sect. This battle lasted 2 days and 2 nights, with heavy casualties on both sides. With Golden Core Realm experts joining the battle, the intensity of the war escalated again. In the end, the Demon Suppression Army won a hard-fought victory. 12 Rune Seed Realm experts from the Demon Suppression Army fell, including 9 Earth-rank Demon Extermination Generals, 2 Martial Academy Elders, and 1 Independent Martial Cultivator. In addition, black-rank demon extermination generals, yellow-rank demon extermination generals, and ordinary demon extermination guards suffered casualties amounting to 70 or 80,000 on the side of the Profound Darkness sect. Their casualties were also significant after the Demon Suppression Army combined into the devastating god-killing battle array. They killed several Rune Seed realm experts of the enemy. Following this battle, the power of the Profound Darkness sect's camp once again contracted, and their morale took a severe hit after the battle achievements of the Far Suppression Legion spread. The Blue Blade Legion increased their offensive efforts, engaging in fierce battle with the main force of the Profound Darkness sect on another front line. After several days of intense fighting, both sides suffered losses, but the Blue Blade Legion eventually came out ahead, advancing the battle line once more. After being heavily injured during the previous battle and experiencing another few days of intense fighting, Lu Yun had gained tremendously, not only in terms of war spoils, but more importantly, after experiencing the trials, Lu Yun's speed of engraving law runes using energy had increased again. Now, he could engrave almost 4 law runes every day. This speed was incredibly fast and shockingly impressive. Previously, he was completely crushed by Feng Yi, a true inheritance disciple of Profound Darkness sect. Even wearing the treasure armor, he suffered severe injuries. If not for Zhuang Ziyuan's timely rescue, the situation would have been dire. Since then, Lu Yun had a clearer understanding of his own strength and gained new insights into the peak of the Rune Seed realm. There was a considerable gap between the peaks of the Rune Seed realm. According to Zhuang Ziyuan, the peak of the Rune Seed realm was divided into 3 tiers. These were the ordinary Rune Seed realm peak, the top Rune Seed realm peak, and the extreme Rune Seed realm peak. Lu Yun's current strength was almost on the same level as the ordinary Rune Seed realm peak. As for Zhuang Ziyuan, although he was only in the late stage of the Rune Seed realm, he could be compared with the top Rune Seed realm peak due to his Law River Rune Seed divine ability. Bai Changfeng and the previous attacker Feng Yi, on the other hand, were at the extreme Rune Seed realm peak, and their strength was incredibly close to the Golden Core realm. With just 1 Rune Seed realm peak, it was divided into 3 tiers. This shows how terrifying the strength of a true master in the Golden Core realm is. After learning this, Lu Yun was not discouraged. On the contrary, he became even more passionate. He was not afraid of the terrifying strength of the Golden Core realm true master. He was afraid of not knowing the gap between himself and the Golden Core realm. The unknown was often the most terrifying. Once the gap was known, there would be a clear goal in mind, and fear would be alleviated. In the coming period, I will strive to condense rune seeds. Lu Yun secretly set a small goal for himself. At this moment, 71 rhombus runes were laid out above the Yuan Hai within his body, their powerful force causing the Yuan Hai to surge continuously. 99 law runes was the minimum requirement for condensing a superior rune seed. Now, Lu Yun was getting closer and closer to the baseline to condense a superior rune seed. Chapter 449, Chapter 449, Chapter 249, over 100 law runes broken. Chapter 449, Chapter 249, over 100 law runes broken. Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron M1. Next came a peaceful period of recuperation, without any fights happening. Both the Demon Suppression Army and Profound Darkness Sect's camps intentionally maintained their silence. Such silence is often a harbinger of an impending storm. Most of the soldiers in the Demon Suppression Army knew this, so they exchanged their merits for cultivation resources to fully improve themselves and prepare for the final battle. During this time, both for Lu Yun and the Demon Suppression Army, it was a stable period of recuperation, as well as a rapid period of strength improvement. Lu Yun took advantage of this peaceful period to continually inscribe law runes. The closer he got to the limit, the slower the speed of inscribing law runes became. However, for Lu Yun, this problem did not exist. As long as he had enough energy value, he could continuously increase the number of law runes without reaching the limit of his physical body. This time, the recuperation period was very long and no battle orders were given. Lu Yun devoted himself wholeheartedly to improving his laws, ignoring whatever happened outside, as there were Golden Core experts sitting in town, so he was not afraid of being attacked by profound darkness sex assassination squads again. Just like that, Lu Yun buried himself in cultivation for a full 7 days, undisturbed by anyone. 7 days, for ordinary people, was just a blink of an eye. But for Lu Yun, it felt like a long, long time. Even his strength had undergone a significant change. Name: Lu Yun Force, Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Demon Suppression Army Cultivation Technique, Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, Golden Body Episode, 100% Perfection, Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, 6th Level, Traceless IO %, Life Destruction Saber Techniques, 2nd Level, Unparalleled Bloodblade IO %, Wind Thunder Manual, 3rd Level, Instant Horizon IO %, Fifth Scripture, 2nd Level, Sky Lion Shaking the Sky IO %, Finger Scripture, 1st Level, Formless Tribulation Finger IO %, Sky, Brilliance Thunder Sword True Art, IGO % Perfection, Innate Talent, Level 9 Martial Arts, Peak of Golden Body Realm, Lu Law Runes, Energy Value, 925,000, automatically increases by 50 per day, Conception, Slaughter Conception, 7th Rank 1%, Thunder Conception, 7th Rank 1%, Spatial Conception, 6th Rank 1%, Skill, Level 6 Alchemy Technique, 27%, Talent, White Lotus Flame, 7th Rank 1%, Luck Value, 45. After 7 days of seclusion, Lu Yun's law runes inside his body had broken through the limit of refining superior rune seeds, reaching 100. 100 law runes was an almost unattainable goal for any martial artist, even if they spent their entire life trying to reach it. Yet Lu Yun achieved this goal in just under a month's time. 100 law runes is not my limit. Lu Yun retired from the panel and ended his cultivation, falling to the ground to sleep. He needed to rest well for 2 days, as his energy consumption during the cultivation period was immense, leaving him extremely tired. After resting for 2 days, Lu Yun's physical and mental state recovered to their peak, and he left the cultivation room to inquire about the situation. As it happened, Wei Zongqing had also finished his cultivation, and the two chatted for a while. At Lu Yun's request, Wei Zongqing told him some of the internal news he had received. The Blue Blade Legion and Far Suppression Legion had stopped advancing and were preparing for a major operation to end the battle in the profound darkness domain once and for all. The leader of this major operation was not Wei Tianluan and Tung Jingshan, but another heavenly level Earth rank demon extermination general at the peak of the Golden Core realm. The operation would begin in as short as 5 or 6 days, or as long as 8 or 9 days. Upon learning this news, Lu Yun's expression became much more solemn. The stalemate that had lasted for more than a month in the profound darkness domain's battle lines was finally coming to an end. After bidding farewell to Wei Zongqing, Lu Yun went to the Merit Exchange Center for a stroll. After a round of inquiries, the Sect's supreme cultivation technique of Dragon Tiger Mountain, the Five Thunder Heavenly Heart Orthodox method, was indeed collected there. To improve and complete the Pure Yang Martial Arts canon, Lu Yun spent 20,000 demon extermination points to exchange it. 20,000 demon extermination points was a significant amount of merit for anyone not to be wasted recklessly. Fortunately, after Lu Yun improved his strength, he had killed numerous rune seed realm cultivators and accumulated a large number of demon extermination points. In addition, Lu Yun also exchanged for several 7th grade pills. Pills were strategic resources, especially high-level 7th grade pills, which were scarce and limited in exchange. Each rune seed realm cultivator could only exchange up to 3 per month. It seems that if I want to obtain pills, I still need to improve my alchemy technique. After returning to the cultivation room, Lu Yun continued his seclusion. He first fused the 5 Thunder Heavenly Heart Orthodox method with the pure Yang martial arts canon and finally deduced the Golden Core chapter from it. Due to the higher level of the 5 Thunder Heavenly Heart Orthodox method, this fusion cost him 100,000 energy value. The amount of energy value spent was large, but still within an acceptable range. After all, the pure Yang martial arts canon was his foundation. After the fusion of the cultivation technique was completed, Lu Yun continued to improve the rune seed chapter. Time slowly passed, and in the blink of an eye, 5 days had gone by. On this day, Lu Yun ended his cultivation. The reason was not that he had reached the limit of his runes, but that he had received a notice for a general mobilization meeting. In the conference hall of the Far Suppression, all Earth-rank demon extermination generals had already arrived. In addition, there were many rune seed realm elders. These included Independent Cultivator Camp, Martial Academy rune seed realm experts, and Alchemist Alliance Level 7 alchemists, all gathered here. Among them, Lu Yun saw many familiar faces. They included Earth-rank demon extermination generals by Chang Feng, Zhuang Ziyuan, Hong Xingwu, and Wei Zongqing. Among the rune seed realm experts of the Martial Academy, there were He Lu and Lei Kang. Chapter 450, Chapter 450, Chapter 249, Breaking Over 100 Law Runes _2, Chapter 450, Chapter 249, Breaking Over 100 Law Runes _2, Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron M in the Independent Cultivator Camp, another rune seed realm expert, had emerged. This person was Zuok Jai, who had crossed paths with Lu Yun before. In just under a month, his cultivation had actually reached the early stage of the rune seed realm. Although both were at the early stage of the rune seed realm, Lu Yun had a vague feeling that 5 or 6 Lei Kang might not necessarily be a match for Zhuoya. Of course, that's all Lu Yun thought of Zhuoya now, and he quickly withdrew his gaze. As his strength improved, his horizons changed, and ordinary rune seed realm experts couldn't arouse much interest in him. He's become more terrifying, and with just one glance, he can almost see through all of my secrets. In the Independent Cultivator Camp, Zhuoya looked at Lu Yun's back, his face extremely complex. He clearly knew his own strength, and ordinary experts at the middle stage of the rune seed realm might not necessarily be his opponents. But when Lu Yun's gaze fell on him, he felt a strong sense of oppression. Next, Lu Yun greeted Wei Zongqing, Hong Xingwu, and Zhuang Ziyuan one by one, then sat down in his seat, closing his eyes to rest. Not long after, a terrifying aura descended, and everyone felt it, quickly getting up and saluting with their fists. Greetings to General Wei. You may all stand down. As the authoritative voice fell, everyone withdrew their fists and stood up. After withdrawing his fist, Lu Yun's gaze looked forward and saw Wei Tianlun's figure. This heavenly-level demon extermination general, the actual commander of the Far Suppression Legion, had an air of mystery that enveloped his body, giving people a vague feeling. Following Wei Tianlun's appearance, very quickly, powerful auras arrived one after another. 1, 2, 3. Each aura that descended made the atmosphere in the main hall even more oppressive, putting pressure on the hearts of the Earth-ranked demon extermination generals and rune seed realm experts, 3 heavenly-level demon extermination generals, and a golden core realm true master. Lu Yun looked at the 4 golden figures at the top of the hall, his eyes shining. The 4 golden core realm experts of the Far Suppression Legion were appearing together for the first time. But he had only ever been in direct contact with one of them, Wei Tianluan. Aside from Wei Tianluan, the other 3 Golden Core realm experts had only been glimpsed from a distance. Now, with such a close encounter, Lu Yun could discern through his vague perception that Wei Tianluan was the strongest among them. However, the specific gap between them was unknown. The mobilization meeting officially began with the appearance of all the Golden Core realm powerhouses. The decisive battle in the profound Darkness Domain battlefield has been delayed for half a month, and I believe everyone is quite eager. Next, I will make the following deployment for this final battle. The Far Suppression Legion will advance in 3 directions, converging at the Silent Plain in 3 days, where, without any accidents, the final battle will take place. The first group, the 1st, 5th, 9th, 10th, 15th, and 42nd Armies, totaling 130,000 Demon Suppression Army soldiers, led by General Linghu Dao, advancing along the Phoenix Mountain and Bright Moon City route. The second group, the 2nd, 4th, 11th, 18th, and 43rd Armies, totaling 120,000 Demon Suppression Army soldiers, led by True Master Chong Kong, advancing along the Mountain View Valley, Plains Mountain Range, and Duga City route. The third group, the 3rd, 6th, 7th, 8th, 12th, and 41st Armies, totaling 120,000 Demon Suppression Army soldiers, led by General Duga Yuan. Without any unnecessary words, this mobilization meeting was actually just a simple deployment. When the deployment was complete, the meeting ended hastily. The warship pierced the sky, traveling through the void. Lu Yun's 18th Army belonged to the second group, commanded by True Master Chong Kong. Aside from the 18th Army, there were also the 2nd, 4th, and other 14 Demon Suppression Armies. There were 27 Earth-ranked Demon Extermination Generals, and, in addition, 4 Rune Seed Realm experts. These were Independent Cultivator Zhuqiuya, Flying Spirit Martial Academy Elder Lei Kang, White Cloud Martial Academy Elder Tan Qianluan, and Origin Martial Academy Elder He Lu. On the 18th warship, Lu Yun looked down at the rapidly passing mountains and rivers beneath his feet, his eyes calm and unruffled. This final battle with the profound Darkness Domain was slightly different from the previous White Lotus Domain final battle. During the White Lotus Domain final battle, the only opponent had been the White Lotus sect. This time in the war against the profound Darkness Domain, in addition to the profound Darkness sect, there was also Dragon Tiger Mountain. Although Dragon Tiger Mountain's main camp had been broken through, their strength had not suffered much damage. It could be said that the battle in the profound Darkness Domain was larger and more intense than the battle in the White Lotus Domain. However, this time, besides the Far Suppression Legion, there was the even more powerful Blue Blade Legion. Of course, the most important thing was that Lu Yun's strength had improved by leaps and bounds. Last time, he was only at the Origin Fluid Realm, and a Rune Seed realm martial artist could force him to run for his life. Now, he not only improved his cultivation to the peak of the Golden Body realm, but his law runes surpassed too. With such strength, it was as easy as slaughtering dogs to kill those of the Rune Seed realm. Even the ordinary Rune Seed realm martial artists at their peak might not be a match for him. By the time Lu Yun was immersed in his thoughts, they had arrived at Mountain Outlook Valley. Kill dozens of Earth-rank demon extermination generals and Rune Seed realm experts transformed into rainbow lights and attacked various mountains. Following closely, over 100,000 Demon Suppression Army charged out. An hour later, everywhere they looked, there were broken limbs and wreckage. The mountains and the earth were filled with the atmosphere of desolation. Lu Yun looked at the blood-stained ground in front of him, his expression unchanged. Those who died at his hands in this battle numbered close to 1,000. The weakest of these was the Origin Fluid Realm. Those too weak didn't even arouse the thought of fighting in him. Having stained his hands with so many souls, He had long grown indifferent to life and death. "General, these are your spoils of war." QGNG, Ho came over to Lu Yun, excitedly handing over a pile of storage rings. Upon seeing these Sumi rings, Lu Yun's expression changed slightly. Before, he was too busy killing the enemy and had no time to collect the low-level spoils of war, so he ordered QGNG Ho and others to do it for him. Lu Yun reached out and gathered all the Sumi rings. He took out the pills and precious spiritual objects from the rings, then handed the rest to QGNG Ho to fill the treasury. By the time they hurriedly cleaned the Mountain Outlook Valley battlefield, the sun had already set, but the 2nd Legion of the Far Suppression Legion did not rest, but continued to march. During the battle meeting, Wei Tianlun's deployment was to reach the Silent Plain within 3 days. This deployment was also in order, and they could not afford to delay. The next day, as dawn broke, the 2nd Army of the Demon Suppression Legion arrived at the Plains mountain range, and the battle began. More than 20,000 martial artists from the Profound Darkness Sect and Dragon Tiger Mountain were stationed here. After a fierce battle that lasted several breaths' time, the area was left with broken limbs and wreckage. Run! A dozen Rune Seed Realm and Gold Body Realm martial artists tried to flee in all directions. Watching this scene, Lu Yun and the others ignored them and continued to surround and kill the remaining martial artists. Sure enough, at this moment, a golden giant hand emerged from the void and burst forth, followed by countless golden rays of light encircling the fleeing martial artists. As the golden giant hand clenched suddenly, the bodies of a dozen martial artists exploded, turning into a rain of blood that fell from the sky. Immediately after, true Master Chongkong appeared in the air, looking down at the land below. With his status and strength, he wouldn't take action easily, but once he did, it was with a devastating force. The dozen Rune Seed Realm and Gold Body Realm martial artists were as fragile as ants in his hands. Lu Yun watched this scene, his face filled with shock. He had seen Golden Core Realm experts take action, but those were between people of the same level, and the gap between them was not significant. Though the battles were spectacular, they did not evoke strong shock. However, this time when true Master Chongkong used his power to kill the fleeing martial artists, it was different. It was like a god attacking mortal beings. Even running to the ends of the earth would be useless, and they couldn't put up any resistance. At this moment, it seemed like true Master Chongkong sensed something, and his gaze fell on Lu Yun as if he had a locating function. "So, it's this little fellow." True Master Chongkong smiled faintly. Chapter 451, Chapter 451, Chapter 250, Deathly Silent Plains, Black Abyss River. Chapter 451, Chapter 250, Deathly Silent Plains, Black Abyss River. Lease reading Omicron N Novel Cool. Omicron M. After sweeping through Mountain View Valley and the Plains mountain range, the 2nd main force of the Far Suppression Legion continued to advance. Nearing dusk, they saw a vast city sprawling between the mountains and the plains from a distance. Outside the city walls, a raging river flowed, surrounding the pitch-black city. This enormous city was Duga's city, with a vast area and unparalleled prosperity, ranking top 10 in the Profound Darkness domain. Duga's city, since learning that the Profound Darkness domain had been completely defeated and the Demon Suppression Army was closing in, the battle was imminent, and city defenses were on high alert with all city protection arrays activated right away. Even so, the powerful warriors in the city were all wearing solemn expressions. In the City Lord's mansion, one of the powerful figures looked worried. "City Lord, the Demon Suppression Army's powerful warriors are about to arrive. Are we sure we're not retreating?" The might of the Demon Suppression Army had long been deeply ingrained in people's hearts. Not to mention, by now, most of the Profound Darkness domain had fallen, with the Profound Darkness sect suffering defeats at every turn. Now, Their Dugu City might be the last defense line, facing the most fierce attack from the Demon Suppression Army. How could those stationed here not feel alarmed? Although the Demon Suppression Army is strong, they can't possibly send too many forces here. We only need to hold out for 3 more days and ensure Dugu City remains unbroken, Zhong Xiong said with an indifferent expression. He also wanted to evacuate in time, but he had to obey the sect's orders. As for whether they could hold Dugu City for 3 days, he was unsure, but the current situation did not allow him to show any sign of cowardice. Otherwise, if morale crumbled, they wouldn't be able to hold out for half a day, let alone 3 days. He then looked up at the rising array in the city. I hope this array can hold for a while longer. The city protection array was his greatest reliance. Thinking of the great array protecting the city, he felt somewhat relieved. This city protection array, which had consumed a vast amount of resources from the Profound Darkness sect, would not be easy to break even for a peak rune seed realm martial artist. With the addition of the power within the city, holding out for a few days should not be a problem. That was what he thought. Suddenly, a strong sense of danger surged from his heart. He looked up, only to see the sky above suddenly darken, as if it was covered by layers of mist. Then he saw gigantic figures appear above the sky. All the powerful figures in the city saw this scene too. The Demon Suppression Army has arrived. Quick, all martial artists prepare for battle. A warning was issued in Dugu City, and all the martial artists, who were already fully prepared, emerged immediately, filled with fighting spirit. In the outside world, Lu Yun looked at the rapidly rising array in Dugu City, his face filled with astonishment. A mere city had deployed such a vast array, which was quite unexpected. Above the array, more than a dozen Earth-rank demon extermination generals stood in the air, looking down at the city protection array below them. Brother Zhuang, Brother Lu, who will break the array? One of the Earth-rank demon extermination generals said with a smile. Lu Yun glanced at the man, who was Zhang Wenyun, a demon extermination general of the Second Army. He was ranked just below by Changfeng among the numerous Earth-rank demon extermination generals in the Far Suppression Legion. With Brother Zhang here, we don't need to make a fool of ourselves, Zhuang Ziyuan said with a faint smile. Lu Yun slightly nodded as well, not showing any intention of making a move, and directly yielded the opportunity to the other party. Since that's the case, leave breaking through the city to me. Zhang Wenyun stepped forward without hesitation and arrived right above the city protection array. Golden light flickered in his eyes, and with a single finger, he sent stars falling and shook the city protection array violently. The once flawless array barrier now had a fissure, which was rapidly cracking in all directions at a visible speed. Not good. A peak rune seed realm martial artist has made a move. Zhong Xiong's heart clenched in Dugu City, looking at the shattered array barrier in the sky. A sense of horror filled his heart. His worst fear had come true. Now, all he could hope for was that the array could hold out a while longer. Outside, Zhang Wenyun looked at the cracked barrier below his feet, his face slightly tense. Impressive defense, he said. The casual strike he had just thrown carried the power comparable to an ordinary peak rune seed martial artist. However, such power did not immediately shatter the array, which surprised him. He knew that Dugu City was just a city, not a particularly important location. Moreover, in the subordinate forces of the Profound Darkness sect, city protection arrays were not available for the cities. Now, as they approached the core area of the Profound Darkness sect, the city they encountered had an array comparable to those of other subordinate sections. It was clear that the foundation of the Profound Darkness sect was far beyond its subordinate forces. But Zhang Wenyun wasn't too shocked. Although the current array was strong, it couldn't hold him back, let alone the Demon Suppression Army behind him. As he was finding it intriguing, a mysterious force rose from the array below, mending the cracks on the barrier. Seeing this, Zhang Wenyuan's eyes turned cold. He directly struck down towards the barrier with his palm. Divine ability of the rune seed, mountain-shattering palm. The enormous Dugu city was directly covered by a giant palm that resembled a mountain. All the martial artists in the city felt the sky tremble, and the earth crack, their eyes filled with horror as they looked up. What they saw was a giant palm like a mountain. Crack! The city protection array shattered. The array that could normally block an average peak rune seed realm martial artist had no way of resisting Zhang Wenyuan, this powerful low-rank demon extermination general, when he unleashed his full strength. Chapter 452, Chapter 452, Chapter 250 Silent Plain, Black Nether, Chapter 452, Chapter 250 Silent Plain, Black Netherlease reading Omicron and Novelcool. Omicronem, river _2 the array shattered, and the whole city trembled violently. Some of the martial artists and ordinary people in the city could not withstand this powerful force, and were immediately spitting blood. Seeing this scene, Lu Yun slightly shifted his gaze. That's why he was reluctant to act previously. For martial artists, he would not show mercy when killing. But he did not want the lives of ordinary people without the least bit of martial arts on their bodies to stain his hands. This was not due to his benevolence, but simple unwillingness. At the same time, several powerful auras erupted from the city, 5 at the rune seed realm. Zhang Wenyuan's eyes focused. He didn't expect that there were 5 protectors at the rune seed realm in a measly Dugu city. However, he wasn't too concerned. Although 5 rune seed realms seemed like a powerful force, in fact, the strongest among them were only 1 late-stage rune seed realm, 1 mid-stage rune seed realm, while the other 3 were at the early stage of rune seed realm. Even if he was alone, he could handle such power. No matter who trespasses into Dugu city, they will be executed without mercy. Zhong Xiong looked coldly at the person before him. The latter had broken the city protection array with his own strength, which was a frightening display of power. But as the city lord who guards Dugu city, there is no room for retreat now that matters have come to this, so he had to forcibly suppress his fear. As soon as his words fell, he made his move. In his hand appeared a long knife. Its blade emitted dazzling light that lit up the empty space. The remaining 4 rune seed realm also acted simultaneously. Facing the powerhouse who was able to break the city protection array, they dared not to hold back at all and went all out. In an instant, the 5 rune seed realm jointly attacks Zhang Wenyuan. Kill! From within the city, again, numerous rainbows of light flew out. These were the martial artists of the Golden Body realm in Dugu city. The moment the city protection array was broken, they knew they had no escape, and the only hope of survival was to fight. "Brother Lu, it's time to work," Zhuang Ziyuan shouted, a golden great Tao rising under his feet as he charged into battle. This way of entering the stage is domineering. Lu Yun watched Zhuang Ziyuan's golden great Tao, his eyes filled with strange light. Purple lightning bursted around his body, directly passing through the shattered city protection array and attacking a rune seed realm. He reached out a hand toward a rune seed realm at the initial stage. Despite appearing as a simple palm strike, it brought immense unease to the opponent. Forcing himself to resist the urge to surrender, he let out a thunderous sound from his mouth as runes violently expanded around his body, releasing a force that could shatter anything. However, this shattering force could not budge Lu Yun's palm at all. Without any surprise, he grabbed the opponent before a destructive force exploded. In an instant, a powerful countershock caused Lu Yun's blood to chum slightly. After calming his turbulent energy, Lu Yun looked at the empty space with a hint of regret and pity in his eyes. The opponent self-destructed. Although it didn't harm him, the destructive power shattered the Sumi ring on his body completely. Lu Yun's gaze shifted slightly. the remaining rune seed realm were already divided cleanly by other Earth-rank demon extermination generals. With the situation being more wolves than meat, Lu Yun could only lower his target. Half an hour later, the sky above Dugu City returned to calm. The people and martial artists in the city looked at the empty sky with complex expressions. There was a rumble, the battleship shook violently, and Lu Yun, who had his eyes closed, suddenly opened them. There was a look of sentiment in his deep eyes. When the golden body episode of the pure Yang martial arts canon reaches perfection, each progress level can increase 1 rune. Upon reaching the Reach Profound stage, each 2 levels can increase 1 rune. If this trend continues, the upper limit of runes that the body can tolerate is no more than 200. After raising the golden body episode of the pure Yang martial arts canon to the Reach Profound stage, the required energy was greatly increased. It almost required 8,000 energy points for each progress level. Honestly, the energy points are not that important. The true key is breaking the limit. The more limits broken, the deeper the foundation. As for energy values, Lu Yun was not lacking in them now. 99 runes can condense superior rune seeds. Lu Yun now has a total of 123 runes in his body. Once these runes are condensed, they will be the most top-quality superior rune seeds. But he was still not satisfied with this. Each realm has countless potentials and limits to explore. Relying on a huge amount of energy values, Lu Yun can greatly shorten the time of exploration. With the foundation of my current 123 runes, I can just about match the peak of the rune seed realm in full combat power, much stronger than before. If I condense rune seeds, my combat power will soar even further. If I continue to increase the rune limit and finally condense the rune seeds, I may even be able to enhance my combat power to rival the peak of the extreme rune seed realm during the golden body realm. Reaching the peak of the extreme rune seed realm requires meeting 3 conditions. First, the cultivation base must reach the peak of the rune seed realm. The second condition is that the conserved runes must be top-grade rune seeds, or above. The third condition requires one to possess a powerful rune seed divine ability. With only one condition met, Lu Yun aims to push his combat power to the peak of the extreme rune seed realm. If other people knew about this, who knows what sort of implications that would create. Settling the turmoil in his heart, Lu Yun stepped out from the battleship. By this time, they had arrived at the Silent Plain. The Silent Plain is one of the ancient battlegrounds. Once upon a time, after the 100 sects migrated from Jiuzhou, an intense battle took place between the 100 sects and the Sea clan here. In the end, the mountain and river were destroyed. The river flowed backwards. The death chi lingered. This place became a desolate land, where within a radius of tens of thousands of miles, no living beings exist. Now, another historic battle was about to take place here. Standing at the edge of the battleship deck and looking down at the endless ground below, a strong death chi confronted him, making his body feel a slight chills of cold. Even the strong Lu Yun felt this way, not to mention the demon extermination guards with lower martial arts realms. Their bodies were trembling. Seeing this, Lu Yun did not react. Although the death chi was strong here, it wouldn't cause much harm to the demon extermination guards that are all at least in the true chi realm. As long as the battle began, these chills would have no effect. His gaze swept across the endless black silence and landed in the center of the Silent Plain, where there seemed to be a black snake lying coiled. The Black Nether River. There are countless river systems in the entire coastal area. Among them, the Sky Passage River system has the widest river basin. The Sky Passage River spans over half of the coastal area, with countless tributaries and river systems eventually flowing into the endless sea. The Black Nether River is one of the 5 tributaries of the Sky Passage River, which traverses the profound darkness domain, and crosses through the silent plain. A light breeze blew gently, as the surface of the river surrendered monstrous waves. The surging river roared forward aggressively, seemingly containing a terrifying power that could easily stir the heavens and earth. On the opposite side of the black Nether River stood several forts. From afar, there was a palpable sense of tension, suggesting that the martial artists of the Profound Darkness sect were ready for battle. The reason why the war hadn't broken out yet was because neither side's horses had fully assembled. Boom, boom, boom. There was a thunderous roar from behind, as Lu Yun looked back to see several more colossal battleships approaching. Following the arrival of the Second Army, the first legions of the Far Suppression Legion had also arrived. Lu Yun. From a distance came a voice. It was Wei Zongqing. Your Second Army actually made it to the silent plain before us. That's impressive. Wei Zongqing gave Lu Yun a thumbs up. Along the way, we didn't encounter much resistance. Although we didn't rest along the way, we only just beat you to it. After Lu Yun laughed lightly, his eyes fell on Zhuang Ziyuan behind Wei Zongqing. Zhuang Ziyuan's gaze also fell on Lu Yun. Their gazes met, and both thought, just as I thought. The First and Second Legions of the Far Suppression Legion were gathering north of the Black Nether River in the Silent Plain. They waited for the arrival of the Third Army. Once they arrived, the battle crossing the river would begin. Chapter 453, Chapter 453, Chapter 251, Cutting Off the Black Nether River, Thousands of Miles of Marshes. Chapter 453, Chapter 251, Cutting Off the Black Nether River, Thousands of Miles of Marshes. Lise reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron am gazing from a distance at the ceaselessly surging, wave after wave, Black Nether River. Wei Zongqing said in a detached tone, the Profound Darkness sect has really gone to great lengths. Not only have they utilized the aura of silence in this place, but they've also used the Black Nether River to create a natural chasm. I fear it will take some work for us to cross over. A mere Black Nether River cannot possibly halt the march of my demon suppression army. 11 Zhang Wenyun said coldly, a chill flickering in his eyes. Despite his words, when he looked at the Black Nether River, there was a faint sense of apprehension. How could he not see that the Black Nether River harbored terrifying power? Any who approached would be met with an overwhelming fury. Thus, it formed a natural chasm, halting the march of the Demon Suppression Army. To breach this chasm, the Black Nether River would need to be cut off. But there was a hidden barrier above it. Breaking it and then cutting off the Black Nether River would be no easy task. The one who made Zhang Wenyun, who was among the top Earth-rank demon extermination generals in the Far Suppression Legion, hesitate was undoubtedly a Golden Core realm powerhouse. And not just one. They're here. At this moment, from the rather dusty horizon, a rumbling could be heard as a series of massive warships slowly neared. Seeing the squadrons of warships approaching, Lu Yun's heart stirred. The Third Army had arrived, albeit a bit late, but without delay. The merging of the three armies of the Far Suppression Legion, an assembly larger and more numerous than before, carried an even heavier aura of war. There was no doubt that they had undergone numerous battles along the way. After half a day's rest, at dawn the next day, a dazzling golden light erupted on the dusty horizon. Dugu Yuan, the heavenly rank demon master, emerged from the golden light, releasing a powerful aura. The silent chi around him didn't dare approach, instead scattering in fear. Then, 2 more golden lights appeared. They were the other heavenly rank demon extermination master, Dugu Yuan and Master Chong Kong. Everyone prepare yourselves. The moment the natural chasm opens, charge right away, break through all war barriers, and slay all martial artists in the profound darkness sex camp. Ling Hu Dao commanded in a cold voice. Upon hearing this, everyone nodded in agreement. Seeing this, Ling Hu Dao no longer wasted time. He took a step forward, crossing the vast plain to float above the Black Nether River. Just then, the Black Nether River seemed to respond to some sort of provocation. The already tumultuous surface of the river suddenly swelled with waves, each one taller than the last, the endless power within, and the surge of water formed a flood dragon that rose and leaped toward Ling Hu Dao in the sky. Azure waves roiled, and the dragon formed from the river was terrifying and fierce. Behind it followed columns of water shooting into the sky. Only then did Lu Yun realize that the array above the Black Nether River was not only for defense, but also held offensive power. The sudden burst of such powerful killing power made even him hesitant to approach, let alone the Earth-rank demon extermination generals and Rune Seed realm powerhouses. Only a Golden Core realm powerhouse could break such an array, which mobilized the rolling Black Nether River and utilized most of the Silent Plains' killing intent, resulting in such terrifying power. Looking at the coiling flood dragon and the skyward water columns infused with infinite power, Ling Hu Dao's eyes were as calm as water. Golden light swirled around him, and with a light stamp of his boot adorned with dragon patterns, ripples of gold emerged and then spread in all directions, forming a giant circular golden shield, which began to suppress the flood dragon and the skyward water columns below. Boom, boom, boom. After a fierce collision, the flood dragon and the water columns shattered, dissipating into nothingness. However, this was met with a fiercer counterattack. The water of the entire Black Nether River seemed to churn, engulfing endless killing intent and hurtling towards Ling Hu Dao. As the water swirled around Wei Zongqing, Ling Hu Dao tried to suppress it when a voice sounded in his ears. That's enough. Let's all work together and cut off this Black Nether River. Master Chong Kong suddenly appeared next to Ling Hu Dao. He reached out and drew a golden long sword from thin air on which the law aura was circulating, swallowed radiant sword radiance, and embodied the power to destroy the heavens and the earth. Next, Dugu Yuan also appeared in the sky over the Black Nether River, where the boundless river swept towards him, but was blocked by his powerful golden light. Okay, let's pool our strengths to cut off this river. As soon as he finished speaking, Ling Hu Dao stood still in the void, not moving a single step. However, out of nowhere, a war halberd appeared in his hand, which he slashed down towards the river below, and a dazzling light appeared, bringing down a roaring, thunderous sound with it, as if a golden flood was pouring down. This attack shattered countless flood dragons and suppressed the Black Nether River with terrifying power, causing waves of excitement among the demon suppression army. Immediately following this, Master Chong Kong and Dugu Yuan also made their move. Master Chang Kong's golden sword descended vehemently, releasing a sword radiance of tens of thousands of zhang in an instant. On the other side, Dugu Yuan made a shocking slash. A sword and a blade, both possessing the power to tear the heavens and the earth, merged together, forming an even more powerful attack that roared down from the sky. As their attack fell, the earth trembled fiercely. The silent plain erupted in roaring tremors, and the surging Black Nether River seemed to have been greatly stimulated. At the same time, on the opposite side of the wide river, the profound darkness sex Golden Core realm powerhouse, Chong Fei, suddenly opened his tightly shut eyes. Chapter 454, Chapter 454, Chapter 251, Cutting Off the Black Nether River, Thousands of Miles of Marshes, _2, Chapter 454, Chapter 251, Cutting Off the Black Nether River, Thousands of Miles of Marshes, _2, Lease reading Omicron N, novel cool. Omicron M in his ears, the soul-shaking, clanging sound echoed. However, before he could regain his senses, an unparalleled blade and sword radiance engulfed the heaven and earth, followed by a deafening rumble, like thunder exploding in the ears. Immediately after, the heaven and earth barrier over the Black Nether River suddenly cracked, releasing a dazzling light, and a world-shattering attack descended. In an instant, the rolling Black Nether River was forcibly severed, and the infinite river, free of all restrictions, surged up in waves, sweeping in all directions. At this moment, the faces of the powerhouse martial artists in the profound Darkness Sect's war fortress went through an abrupt and simultaneous change. What is that sound? It's the sound of the Black Nether River being severed. Their voices wavering, some of the strongest Rune Seed realm martial artists among them spoke. Black Nether River. Hearing these words, the faces of the other powerhouses changed once more. The Black Nether River's defense was set up by sect leader and celestial master Zhang. It would take at least 3 or 4 Golden Core realm powerhouses to break it. It seems the Demon Suppression Army has arrived. As the numerous powerhouses discussed, their gazes fell on the figure at the forefront, awaiting his reply. After a moment of silence, Chang Fei's chilling voice rang out. "Third Elder, inform the sect leader and Supreme Elder that the Demon Suppression Army has arrived ahead of schedule. The rest, follow me and kill the enemy." In the blink of an eye, the news of the impending battle spread like a storm, engulfing the entire profound Darkness Sect's camp. A large number of martial artists emerged from the war fortress, their icy gazes fixed on the Black Nether River that swept in all directions. At this time, the silent plain had been completely covered beneath the waters of the Black Nether River, transforming into a great swamp. Above the swamp, a large number of warships floated in midair, with battle flags standing tall on their decks, emanating unyielding fighting spirit. Atop one of the warships, Lu Yin stood with his hands behind his back, gazing indifferently at the profound Darkness Sect's powerhouses in the distance. Behind him, Yi Xian, Qing Ho, and others were in battle-ready positions, ready to take action right away upon receiving orders from Linghu Dao and the others above the skies. In this battle, victory is the only option. After uttering these simple words, Linghu Dao took the lead and charged out. Master Changkong and Dugu Yuan transformed into 2 rainbow lights, instantly crossing hundreds of miles of land. Linghu Dao gently lifted his halberd, causing the severed Black Nether River to rise violently, turning into a water dragon, surging and swelling before hurtling toward the war fortress of the profound Darkness Sect in the distance. Boom! The roaring river and the boundless force of the water dragon drowned the void. At this moment, a black ray of mysterious light from afar collided fiercely with the water dragon. In an instant, space shattered, and the torrential river water vanished completely in that moment. Afterward, an elderly figure in a black robe stepped into the air, emerging at a position equal to Linghu Dao. Beside him, a black giant hammer appeared in the torn spatial rift. The giant hammer was covered in purple patterns, like flowing lightning, emanating an aura of ferocious might. The black ray of mysterious light earlier had been fired from this black hammer. Whoosh! A spatial ripple appeared, followed by another elderly figure stepping through the void. He wore a white robe and had white hair flowing without wind, exuding an ethereal aura. However, the appearance of a giant axe in his hand instantly dissipates his elusive demeanor. 2 elders of profound darkness. Seeing the appearance of the black and white old men, a faint ripple emerged in Linghu Dao's calm eyes. His war halberd stirred without wind, exuding a boundless and unstoppable might. Hearing Linghu Dao's words, Lu Yun's eyes flickered, and information about the profound darkness sect filled his mind. The 2 elders of profound darkness were supreme elders of the profound darkness sect, with incredible power. The growth of the Profound Darkness sect to its current extent could be attributed not only to the contributions of the current sect leader, but also to the efforts of these two individuals. The white-haired old man with an immortal-like aura was named by Xian, wielding a giant axe with the power to cleave heaven and earth. The ruthless-looking, murderous old man, on the other hand, was called Black Nether, wielding a black giant hammer with astonishing divine strength. Brother Ling Hu, I will help you deal with the two elders of Profound Darkness. The true Master Chongkong, shrouded in golden light, arrives on his sword. All right, it'll leave by Xian to true Master Chongkong. As for He Ming, I will slay him myself. As his words fell, his battle halberd swung. The void beneath Ling Hu Dao's feet shattered, and the vast and unfathomable might erupted in an instant. A Golden Core realm expert makes a move, easily unleashing earth-shattering power. Looking at the incoming Ling Hu Dao, He Ming sneered. Both in the mid-Golden Core realm, I don't know where you got the courage to claim that you can slay me. Immediately, the giant hammer swung, stirring up endless storms, easily bombing the space apart. The two powerful forces collided in this void, with a wave-like aura that surged and rolled out in all directions. Then, the celestial and ethereal Bai Xian unleashed an infinite power with his dark demonic giant axe, striking down towards true Master Chongkong. You've arrived just in time. A solemn expression on true Master Chongkong's face, the golden sword beneath his feet darted back and forth as the sword hilt fell steadily into his hand. The sword was slashed forward, and the towering sword radiance burst forth, easily tearing apart the void in front of it. The heavy axe radiance and crisscrossing, lightning-infused sword radiance collided together. The dome of the sky tore apart, and the void within thousands of miles was affected, as if it had turned into a lake with ripples everywhere. In the next moment, the overwhelming Black Nether River, which filled half of the silent plain, swirled up endless waves under this lingering power. At the same time, the ears of the Demon Suppression Army were filled with an indifferent voice. Kill! Hearing this, all the demon extermination generals and demon extermination guards' eyes turned cold, and they rushed off the warships, stepping over the vast marshes and killing towards the Profound Darkness sect martial artists in the distance. Among them, powerful Earth-rank demon extermination generals such as Zhuang Ziyuan, Bai Chongfeng, Zhang Wenyun, and Lu Yun charged at the forefront. The rest of the black-rank demon extermination generals, yellow-rank demon extermination generals, and ordinary demon extermination guards followed closely. At this moment, hundreds of thousands of Demon Suppression Army soldiers trampled through the endless marshes, bringing with them boundless fighting intent to kill. On the other side, in the Profound Darkness sect camp, a cold voice was also heard at the same time. Kill, fight to the death. Immediately, dozens of colorful lights soared into the sky. In midair, they clashed with the Earth-rank demon extermination generals of the Far Suppression Legion. Lu Yun glanced at the person charging at the forefront, which was the Profound Darkness sect woman who had once attacked him. However, in the end, he forcibly suppressed the killing intent in his heart and directly targeted another person instead. After the previous battle, Lu Yun knew that his strength was still inferior to the opponent. Although he could protect himself when confronting her, it would be difficult to win. Given that, it was better to hunt down a slightly weaker opponent. After all, on their side, they have Bai Chongfeng and Zhang Wenyun, two strong fighters who have reached the peak rune seed realm in terms of strength. Even Zhuang Zijin's strength wouldn't be much inferior to his own. Lu Yun didn't seek revenge from his past enemy, because the most important reason was that he never forgot what his main purpose of participating in the war was. That was to plunder resources from their bodies and strengthen himself. No one noticed Lu Yun's choice made in an instant. In fact, there was no need to pay attention. Lu Yun's gifted and stunning talent was well known among the Far Suppression Legion. But when it comes to bearing responsibility, it was still the old Earth-rank demon extermination generals like Bai Changfeng and Zhang Wenyun. Every one of them had gone through countless fights, defeating and killing countless Rune Seed Realm experts to create their prestigious reputation. As for Lu Yun, he is merely a rising superstar. To shine brightly, he still needs more time. Sure enough, the moment the two sides' powerful fighters collided, Bai Changfeng took the first move and clashed with Feng Yi. Both of them were at the peak of the Rune Seed realm, with their cultivated rune seeds being of high quality, and they mastered rune seed divine abilities. Their incredible explosive battle prowess made them seem like two golden core realm experts fighting, if not for the discerning eyes. Of course, when compared with the true golden core realm experts, both Bai Changfeng and Feng Yi were still slightly inferior. Chapter 455, Chapter 455, Chapter 252, Fierce Battle with the Middle-Aged Man in Blue, Ever-Changing Sword Array. Chapter 455, Chapter 252, Fierce Battle with the Middle-Aged Man in Blue, Ever-Changing Sword Array. Lease reading Omicron and Novel Cool. Omicron M above the silent plain. The black nether river was cut off, and endless river water covered the plain. As far as the eye could see, there were continuous marshes. In the sky, thick evil chi floated, and rainbow lights flew across from time to time, causing earth-shattering fluctuations. Boom! During the close combat, runes filled the sky like a waterfall pouring down. Intense brightness and terror loomed as the warriors of the Demon Suppression Army and the Profound Darkness sect clashed, no longer able to hold back, charging forward to kill. Lu Yun glanced at the enemy. There were many top-notch fighters. Compared with the Far Suppression Legion, it wasn't much different. He pushed both hands, and after exchanging blows with a powerful Rune Seed realm martial artist, both sides had a tacit understanding of bypassing each other and killing the other's camp. Whoosh! Lu Yun used the 3,000 Thunder movement, killed his way into the array of martial artists of the Profound Darkness sect, and directly pounced on them. In front of him, purple lightning appeared and quickly spread, engulfing two early-stage Rune Seed realm fighters and dozens of Gold Body realm martial artists. Immediately after, he continued to point out several fingers, turning them into starlight, and quickly headed towards the purple lightning. Puff! Puff! Blood flashed, and the eyebrows of several Gold Body realm martial artists were successively pierced and fell. The strong men of the Profound Darkness sect were shocked. Lu Yun was too powerful, almost as if entering an uninhabited land, and no one could withstand his single blow. Lu Yun continuously shot points, preparing to further expand his achievements. You dare! At this moment, an elder of the Profound Darkness sect sternly shouted. He originally regarded Lu Yun as a regular Pete Gold Body realm fighter, and automatically ignored him. Unexpectedly, in an instant, 7 or 8 Gold Body realm warriors died at Lu Yun's hands. He stepped out, and the palm's runes flickered. Pressing down with the palm, a brilliant light enveloped the world, and the void roared like a flood rushing vigorously. Great! Elder Chung, Hua's shot will surely kill this brat. However, to the surprise of the Profound Darkness sect members, Lu Yun did not retreat. A punch whizzed out, with golden light surrounding his fist, crushing the overflowing palm force. The renowned Elder Chung Hua of the Profound Darkness sect had not used his full powers, but suppressing later-stage Rune Seed realm fighters should not have been a problem. But such a powerful palm had no effect, and was instead destroyed by Lu Yun's punch. Such amazing strength had never been possessed by Feng Yi, the top disciple of their Profound Darkness sect. This person who appeared now actually had such terrifying power, and was so young. He instantly shocked the members of the Profound Darkness sect. Even the Rune Seed realm elder of the Profound Darkness sect was greatly surprised. In his opinion, if his previous palm could not kill the opponent, it should at least seriously wound him. However, the final result was completely different from his expectations. After Lu Yun repulsed the opponent with one punch, he continued to point out few fingers to shoot, killing off those gold body realm fighters trapped in the thunderstorm he had previously created. Then he stood tall in the void, looking down at Cheng Hua, displaying an invincible posture. "Since you're coming to your own doom, die." Lu Yun, standing in the void, exuded a domineering and arrogant attitude at this time. Cheng Hua's face was cold, as no one had ever been so arrogant with him before. He had practiced for hundreds of years, killed countless heavenly prides, and would never care about a heaven's pride that hadn't even grown up. Silver light, like water, radiated from his body, turning into a crescent-shaped knife in a silver-white and bright color, pure and holy, floating behind him, surrounded by the dazzling brilliance, immensely magnificent. At the same time, under the pure and holy brilliance, an eerie and cold aura was emitted. "Ignorant youth, let me show you what true strength is." Cheng Hua waved his sleeve, and the silver moon crescent behind him instantly flew out in the air, drawing a strange arc, and quickly attacked Lu Yun. Sizzle! Wherever the silver moon crescent went, the void was cut open, leaving traces. The extreme, eerie cold and dark qi reached its peak. "You've got some skill, but that's all." Lu Yun's eyes flashed, showing no fear. He soared upwards, and behind him, in the purple thunderstorm, several golden light dots flickered. Soon, these golden light dots grew rapidly, turning into several golden rainbow lights, directly colliding with the silver moon crescent. These golden rainbow lights were transformed from the golden edge sword fang. Under the blessing of the rune power, they carry in extreme sharpness and force. Rumble! The silver moon crescent was broken, turned into strands of silver law aura, and dissipated in the air. Sky Lion shaking the sky. Lu Yun roared, shaking the sky. The momentum was like a rainbow, with golden light flashing in his eyes. He fiercely punched forward, and the terrifying power shattered everything, shaking the void. All, a deep roar came, as the elder of the profound darkness sect trembled all over his body, flew out horizontally, his right arm blurred with blood and flesh. Golden blood leaked out, and the light golden bones were exposed in the air. The profound darkness sect's members were shocked. In just one confrontation, the powerful elder Cheng Hua had lost. It should be noted that the opponent was a late-stage rune seed realm martial artist who was a top-notch power within the profound darkness sect. The strength displayed by Lu Yun made the elder's heart race. The terrifying explosive power and mountainous strength literally made him a humanoid fierce beast. Earth-rank demon extermination general who knew Lu Yun's strength was not surprised at all. At this moment, whether they were more familiar with Lu Yun like Wei Zongqing and Zhuang Ziyuan, or had only met him once like by Changfeng, they all knew that Lu Yun possessed the power to kill a late-stage rune seed realm warrior.